Say goodbye to June and hello to July. It's a new month, and the Bucs hope to turn the tide after losing 5 of their last 6 games. It's a tough task tonight, though, as the first-place Miners are in town. After a win last night, Matsu holds a 1.5 game lead on the Bucs, the largest of the season. It's a beautiful day in Anchorage, Alaska, and we're just about set for baseball here at Mulcahy Stadium. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everyone. Milo Hoffman alongside Alex Burstein. Now, I don't know if that statement has ever loomed more true to the Bucs. The June swoon was real. 5 of the last 6 games have been losses for Anchorage.
Yeah, it just has not been a good stretch. But you go back to last season, the Bucs ended June very struggling as well. Lost 2 of 4 or 3 of 5 to the Oilers, and then were able to come back and win the championship series. So it's all about changing the page as you start off July. Obviously, as you said, it starts off with a tough test, but it's a new month, and you just got to have a new breath if you're the Bucs.
Well, yesterday was still June, and it was a 2-1 loss to the Chinooks, their lowest run total of the season. But enough talking about that game. Let's take a look about how that matchup went down last night at Lee Jordan Field.
Anchorage Bucs baseball is on the air, and for the first time all season, they aren't in first place. The month of June ends, but the Bucs try to begin a busy stretch against the Chugiak Chinooks on a cloudy Monday night. We'll see what happens. Here's the payoff pitch. Bounce towards first, fielded cleanly by Mitchell. He's not going to throw to second, and Underhill slides in home safely. So it was a slow bouncer towards first base. Because of that, Luke Taylor was already safely in the second, and it allows Landon Underhill to come in for the run's first game. It's 1-0 Bucs here in the top of the fourth.
Now,
here's the 0-2. Breaking ball called, strike 3 on the bottom outside part of the zone. Ring up another one, Cade Finazzo. That's now 6 strikeouts on the day. He's doubled his season total in just 5 innings of work tonight.
Now he's ready. 0-1, swung on line, left center field. McGarry on the run towards the gap, and it drops, goes all the way towards the wall. Mitchell around second, gets the wave around third. He will score easily. It's an RBI double for Patrick McGlon, and we're tied up at 1 here in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the 1-1 pitch, chopped up the middle. Laidley's there, the second baseman, steps on the bag, throws to first, in time. A 4-3 double play, and the Bucs leave the bases loaded for the second straight inning. Giordano gets the sign. Here's the pitch, breaking ball missed, upstairs, and it gets by Luke Taylor. The winning run comes home to score, and the Chinooks win their first game at Lee Jordan Field of the season. They walk it off on a wild pitch. Isaiah Perito got a quick jump and slid home to score the winning run. 2-1, the final score here at Lee Jordan Field. Well, there it was, a 2-1 loss at the hands of the Chinooks. The first time this season Anchorage has been involved with a walk-off. They haven't walked anyone off, but lost last night by the final score of 2-1. And really the main issue with last night's game, you saw it in one of those plays throughout the highlights. Runners in scoring position, the Bucs just simply could not get a hit. Left the bases loaded on 2 occasions.
Yeah, and this is what was happening early on in the season. The Bucs, through the first week or so, were leaving a ton of runners on the base paths. It looked like they were kind of headed in a good direction, but during this losing streak, that has just not been the case, and yesterday was no change. They left 10 runners on the base paths. As you mentioned, the bases loaded a couple of times. That's not how you win games. If you're leaving less runners on, that means there's more who have crossed home plate. So the Bucs tonight, if they want to do any damage, they're going to have to not only get runners on, but also get hits and get smart base running when you're doing that. So that's going to be a huge key for the Bucs tonight against a Miners team that's really good.
Yeah, you talk about a good Miners side, 1.5 game lead on first place. The hitting was a struggle last night, but one positive was the pitching, and it all started with Cade Finazzo, who went 5 strong innings, punched out a season-high 6 strikeouts, actually matched his previous season total with that mark, and he was just brilliant on the mound from the start.
Yeah, he looked really good. For sure his best start of the season, which is good to see. You want to see your starters growing as the season goes on. The Bucs haven't really solidified their starting rotation yet. You see some new guys, including tonight, getting their first starts of the season, but Finazzo, he's been in that role for a couple of weeks now, and he's finally finding the strike zone. You mentioned he basically doubled his total in strikeouts for the entire season. That's a good sign for sure, and it's good to see Finazzo gain his swagger back as the season goes forward.
Yeah, going into that game, we were not surprised if we would see a few strikeouts between the two pitchers, but there ended up being a whole lot of them. Cade Finazzo looked absolutely brilliant on the mound and gave his Bucs a chance to win, but in the end, Anchorage could not pull it out. And someone who was there for the first 8 innings of the game, but then actually got tossed late in this one was head coach Joe Silva, and I had a chance to talk to him before this one against the Miners. Let's see what Skipper had to say. Milo Hoffman here with head coach Joe Silva. Now, a team coming off a loss, and there was actually an ejection. You got thrown out of the game. Can you take me through what happened on that play?
Yeah, just didn't agree with the call, and obviously going to stand up for my guys in that sort of situation. That's honestly right now all I have to say on the matter.
The team left a couple runners on base. Bases loaded, no runs came across. What needs to happen to get those runners home in the situation with runners in scoring position?
Yeah, we got to get tough. We got to get gritty, and we have to understand, situational hitting to execute, and that's why we're out here working on that in batting practice. So, calling on our guys to step on up and show some fortitude, and I believe that we have it in us, right? So, again, summer ball, they're here to get their work in, but we still got to play team baseball and, a chance to take a stride tonight in the right direction.
Now, a positive you can take from yesterday was Cade Finazzo. What did you see from him on the mound? Looked really smooth through 5.
He was great, yeah. Again, he kept us in the ball game, right? And pitching and defense has, stepped up and done their job so far. His mixing of speeds, his mixing of height, kept them off balance, and he did really well for us last night.
You mentioned the defense has been coming around as of late. Has there been anything different in practice or in batting practice leading up to the game that's helped that situation?
Yeah, Coach Espinal's done a phenomenal job working with those guys, and the guys have answered too. They've taken that initiative to go about their business and take pride in their catch play and their defensive work. So, all the credit in the world goes to the guys for responding, and then also Coach Espy for working with them too.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thanks. So, yeah,
Well, thank you so much to head coach Joe Silva for talking to us before this one, as he does before every single game of the Anchorage Bucs season in the ABL. Now find themselves a 1.5 game behind first place. Now, it seemed like throughout the season it was going to be the Bucs at the top. Now the Miners is just completely taken over. They're the team to beat.
Yeah, 4 games in a row that they have won, the longest of the season, including exhibition slate for them. So they have really found their bats, and it's because you don't have just one, you don't just have 2, but basically across the lineup you have offensive options. You go 1 through 9, and especially the top 4 or 5 hitters all have both power and contact ability. So as a pitcher, you really have to work around those early batters, because if the Miners are scoring 2, 3, 4 runs in the first couple of innings, it just really diminishes any opportunity for a win.
Yeah, you look at the leaderboard for the Miners, it's almost a different player in every single statistical category. You got Carter Geffrey, Carter Eberhard. They're all coming through for the Miners, and then the people that aren't even on the leaderboards are making big impacts, like Cole Funkhauser, who's hit 2 home runs against the Bucs so far, including a grand slam a couple weeks ago. So really, the Miners team is excited to be back here at Mulcahy Stadium. Second game in a row they're here at Mulcahy. He played the Pilots last night and won 6-0. Speaking of last night, a pitcher who played for the Bucs was Grady Ferris, and Alex had a chance to talk with the reliever out of the pen before this one against the Miners. Take a listen.
Alex, first game was Grady Ferris at today's matchup with the Miners. Grady, it's officially July. How was your first month in Alaska?
I'd say it was a great experience. Made some new friendships, and just great time playing baseball with the boys, especially. Didn't get to play much this year, getting to play again. So, yeah, really good time.
Talking about that, only 5 innings this past spring. What's it been like kind of getting back into the rhythm of being a regular relief guy?
I struggled this year, trying to find consistency, and, I think I've really been able to find that out here. The coach gave me a great opportunity of being able to go out there every day and compete my ass off. So, really good job.
What have you seen yourself get better on over these first few appearances of the season?
I would say mostly off speed for strikes and being able to throw in any count. That was mostly my my defect during the year. So I've gotten really good in those situations and being able to pitch runners on as well.
Do you see yourself as a relief guy, or if you want to get to starting eventually, where do you see yourself as a pitcher?
As of right now, I see myself as a reliever, but any spot where my team needs me, I'm ready to fill that spot.
I know you used to be a catcher in high school. How does that kind of help you on the mound and getting that relationship going?
I always feel bad when I spike pitches, because I used to be that guy that wore the curveballs and the fastballs to the chest. So, I always feel guilty when that happens, but, I can give me like a sense of feel for the game, how to pitch to guys and what to throw in certain counts and certain situations. So I think that really helps me out.
And then finally, you come from a baseball family. Your dad, brother also played collegiately. What's kind of the family experience of being a Ferris in the baseball lineage?
It's kind of just go out there and compete, man. I mean, I've had a long line of guys, not too much talent, but just hard mindset, hard, gritty talent, and I don't know. It's kind of just what it is.
Grady Ferris, that's today's game picture time.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you to Grady Ferris for taking the time to speak to Alex ahead of this game. Bucs and Miners getting closer to first pitch here at Mulcahy Stadium. It was Kirk Strider and Tyler LeBrun who just explained the lineup cards. Now, it's interesting because head coach Joe Silva was ejected from last night's game along with center fielder Joey Narrett. So it looks like Kirk Strider will be the interim head coach for today's game. Now, head coach Joe Silva was at the park earlier, as you heard. I talked to him before the game, but I don't think he'll be acting as the head coach ahead of this one between the Bucs and the Miners. Inching closer to first pitch here at Mulcahy Stadium. Slated for 6 p.m. Three-man umpire crew on hand today here at Mulcahy Stadium. And it's a battle between the Miners and the Bucs. Matsu holds first place right now, a game and a half up over Anchorage, and it's been a real struggle for the Bucs these last couple of weeks, really this last week. 5 of their last 6 games have resulted in losses. In their latest one, last night to the Chinooks, just 1 run scored. They got walked off 2-1 on a pass ball by Luke Taylor. It just got by him all the way to the backstop, and he had no chance to cut down Isaiah Parita, who scored the winning one for the Chinooks. So Anchorage trying to turn the tide here. Like I said, new month of July, and they will happily welcome that here at Mulcahy Stadium, and it's a tough task against the Miners to start off the new month. We'll head over to the lineups first for the Miners. Their lineup goes as Cole Funkhauser will lead off. He's batting second. Carson Grout playing third base. He'll bat second. Actually, Funkhauser is leading off. Carter Geffrey, the right fielder, will bat third. Cleaning up today is the DH Ridge Erickson. Batting fifth for the Miners is the first baseman Carter Eberhard. Aiden Espinoza in his 3rd game with the Miners comes over from UCLA. First time we're seeing him against the Bucs. His batting 6th, and he's in left field. Doing the catching is James McGee. He bats 7th. Lincoln Stevenson's over in center field batting 8th. And rounding out the lineup for the Miners is the shortstop Greg Parentoni, wearing number 17, has been stout over there at the shortstop position, has not had an error since June 15th. And pitching for the Miners is Connor Mundy, making his 3rd start of the season, has 1 win in 12.1 innings pitched with a 5.11 ERA and 10 strikeouts. His previous 2 starts actually came against the Bucs, a total of 7 innings with 7 earned runs, but really it was the latest one that was the most impressive against Anchorage. Pitched 5 2/3, just 2 earned runs and 4 strikeouts against the Bucs. So the first one, not as swift. The latest one, he looked real sharp against the Bucs.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what we've been saying about a lot of these pitchers, because first time they're seeing a lot of the batters, there's some struggles, but then when you've already faced them once or twice in the season, you know what their things they're really good at are. So the Bucs have done a good job of that on their pitching staff, but so have the Miners as well. And it's the point of the season where you've often seen the same guys once or twice already, so now it becomes an extra challenging time for batters. How do I find new stuff against these guys, and how do I get the offense going? A big question, especially for the Bucs.
Well, the defense is getting going right here. They're taking the field here at Mulcahy Stadium. And I'll run you through the defense that the Bucs have out there today. From left to right in the outfield, it's Austin Gabel, Kai McGarry, and Logan Ewell. Now for the infield, James Provencio is at third base, Grant Haas at short, Landon Underhill over at second base, Ren Matsuzaki back in at first base, making his 2nd start at first. Reese Sherman's doing the catching, and Trace Hartman making his 1st start of the season for the Bucs. This is his 4th appearance. He's racked up 2 wins and 10 innings pitched with a stout 1.8 ERA. Now let's go to PA for the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you please rise, and gentlemen, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Well, there's the national anthem here at Mulcahy Stadium. We inch closer and closer to first pitch between the Bucs and the Miners. Now, I went through the starting lineup for the Miners, and Trace Hartman. He's making his first start of the season. So, Alex, what can we expect out of the guy who's making his first start but has looked solid out of the bullpens?
Yeah, Trace Hartman fits this Bucs team really well because they're going to get your blood pressure going, but they often are able to close the door. Hartman this season has looked really solid. His ERA, as you mentioned, sub-2, and it's because he gets himself into tough situations. Sometimes we saw him give up 5 hits in his last appearance, but he only gave up 1 run because he really knows how to induce those big ground balls, those big flyouts, and get the occasional K as well. So Hartman just has to work well around these Miners bats. He has a very, very diverse pitching rotation, has a fastball, curveball, slider, as well as a splitter that works really well. So he knows how to work against this team. Hasn't faced him yet, but he's watched this team a lot this year. So we just have to see what he can do in his first start of the year.
Well, the Bucs hold the best ERA in the ABL, but by a slim margin. 4.40 is their mark. The Miners come in at 4.41. So a battle between the two best pitching teams and probably just the two best overall teams here in the ABL. It's a 3-man umpire crew on hand here at Mulcahy Stadium. Jesse Segura will call balls and strikes behind home plate. Ethan McCaney is over at third base, and Kenny Atkinson is calling at first base. 3-man umpire crew here at Mulcahy Stadium as Cole Funkhauser walks up to the dish. We're just about set to go here for baseball in Anchorage, Alaska. A gorgeous day on hand, partly cloudy skies. Temperature was actually hot today, hit the 70s. Trace Hartman just about set to get going here. Bucs and Miners. First pitch is in there for a strike on the inside corner, and it's 0-1. 6:04 first pitch time here at Mulcahy Stadium as Hartman gets set for the 0-1 to Funkhauser. Pitch off speed, just misses inside. So 1-1 to Cole Funkhauser. Comes in hitting .226, has not struck out in his last 16 at-bats. A pure contact guy at the top. Here's the 1-1 breaking ball, just misses inside. Had some nice movement, but it's 2-1. To start off, defense played straight up for Anchorage. Hartman comes set, glove, at it letters. Pitch, fastball missed high and in, so it's 3-1. Slim crowd on hand here at Mulcahy Stadium. Wind blowing from right to left, and it's actually picking up as we go on. Counts 3-1. Here's the pitch, fought off, foul right side. So 3-2 on the leadoff man, Cole Funkhauser. Funkhauser, 2 homers against the Bucs so far this season. Hit one last game, actually a leadoff bomb against Anchorage back at Herman Brothers. Payoff pitch is chopped on the ground weakly towards Provencio. He fields and fires in time to first, and that's the first out of the ball game here in the top of the first.
Yeah, pretty routine here, and we mentioned that's what Hartman does. He gets soft contact and just lets the infield do the work. Provencio's looked really solid over the last couple of games over there in the hot corner, so it's an overall good start for the Bucs.
And Provencio really struggled early on at third base. Racked up 6 errors, but hasn't had one in the last couple of games, so good stuff from Provencio on the defensive side. Pitch is fouled off to Carson Grout, so quickly 0-1 on the third baseman today. Grout comes in hitting .250 on the season. In a little bit of a slump though, 1 for his last 13. Right on left matchup. Here's the 0-1 pitch, chopped right side, foul. And it's 0-2. Bucs happy to face Carson Grout. Just 3 for 19 against Anchorage is the third baseman, so he struggled against the Bucs so far this season. 5 RBIs, 5 extra base hits for the number 2 hitter. Hartman kicks and deals. Here's the 0-2 pitch, line down the right field line, foul. Just barely out of the reach of Matsuzaki. Matsuzaki over there at first base for the second time. Actually, the first time he played first was last Friday against the Miners over at Herman Brothers Field and looked pretty good. Did have a couple interesting plays resulting in 1 error, but overall good stuff from Matsuzaki. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt, so it's 1-2 on Grout. Bucs coming off a 2-1 loss to the Chinooks, their fewest runs of the season. 1-2 on Grout. Here's the pitch. Fastball just missed outside, so it's 2-2. Second straight day, the Miners are here at Mulcahy Stadium, won 6-0 over the Pilots last night. Here's the 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Got him on the breaking ball, and there's 2 gone here in the top of the first.
Yeah, we mentioned how good Hartman is when with runners on, but even in at bats, after giving up a couple of balls, just missing there, a really good battle back from the right-hander. He's not usually a starter even at the collegiate level, so it's good to see him able to handle these early batters well.
He's looked real good out of the bullpen so far for the Bucs. And really the bullpen for Anchorage has been strong. Strong yesterday too. Pitch is inside to Carter Geffrey. So 1-0 now on the right fielder. Has been red hot so far this season. Hitting .360. Nice night last night, 2 for 4 against the Pilots. Here's the 1-0 pitch in there for a fastball strike. So 1-1 now on Geffrey. .360 average. I mean, that's nothing to bat an eye at. Really, this whole lineup for the Miners has been swinging it. Counts 1-1. Pitch swung on, lifted high in the air, shallow center field. It's a triangle of players. Now the center fielder, Kai McGarry, calls everyone off and makes the grab. So a nice 1-2-3 start to the day for Trace Hartman. And we'll head to the home half. Bucs coming to bat. Don't go anywhere. It's Bucs baseball. We'll be right back. Back to Mulcahy Stadium here on a beautiful Tuesday night. Bucs and Miners doing battle, and the Bucs are coming to bat, and they'll have to face Connor Mundy, making his 3rd start of the season. Has racked up 1 win in 12.1 innings pitched, the 5.11 ERA with 10 strikeouts, but that ERA is a little bit misleading. His last start came against the Bucs, 5 2/3, just 2 runs and 4 strikeouts. So a really nice last start for Connor Mundy. Something to build off of. Grant Haas leads off for the Bucs. His 2nd straight game leading off for Anchorage. Last night had 2 walks. Actually led off the game with a walk against the Chinooks. But then after those first 2 walks, he went 0 for 3 to end out the day. Mundy comes set. Haas the leadoff man. Ready for the first pitch. And here it is. Fastball misses inside. 1-0 now on Grant Haas.
Interesting, Kirk Schreider going to be at 3rd base tonight. Last night when Joe Silva got ejected, they moved Dylan Espinal over to 3rd, but tonight they're going to have the manager over at 3rd.
Here's Mundy's pitch. Fastball misses high and in. So 2-0 now on the leadoff man. Like I said, 2nd time leading off for Grant Haas. Comes in with a .261 average, 10 RBIs. Still looking for his first extra base hit of the season. Counts 2-0. Here's the pitch. Fastball upstairs. So 3-0 now on Grant Haas. It's what you want. You want to start off with runners aboard for the Bucs, and they did that last night against the Chinooks. Grant Haas started the game with a walk, but it was hitting with runners in scoring position. That was the biggest struggle for Anchorage. Counts 3-0. Here's the pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. Right down Broadway. So 3-1. Miners rocking their camo tops with their white pants and their half green, half yellow caps. Bucs in their all white pinstripes. It was photograph day here at Mulcahy Stadium. Anchorage took their team picture about 3 hours before first pitch. Here's the 3-1. That's hit up the middle towards center field. Coming on Stevenson. He doesn't have a play, and it bloops in for a leadoff single. So a nice start to the day for Grant Haas and the Bucs. A runner on first with nobody out here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, that was a similar play to what Carter Geffrey did in the top half of the inning, but ball just did not keep on going. It blew just past the end of the turf here at Mulcahy Stadium. That's a very hard play for any center fielder to make, and a nice piece of hitting to start things off.
And Grant Haas has been really hitting better as of late. His average was all the way in the low 200s, now up towards 270. He leads off first. Provencio, the hitter, pitch to him as a fastball strike on the outside corner. And it's 0-1 on James, playing third base today. Comes in 341 average, but 2 for his last 11. So a little bit of a slump for Provencio. Haas takes about a 6-foot lead off first base. Money checks on him out of the stretch. Ready for the 0-1. Checks back Espinal to third last night because he was in the rhythm of the game.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit more important to be the third base coach. Counts 0-1 on Provencio. Mundy set. Long pause. Here's the pitch. Fastball missed outside. So 1-1 now on Provencio.
Well, it also was, if I remember correctly, a position where there was runners at second and third.
That's true.
So
It was a big moment.
yeah.
Bucs left the bases loaded twice last night. Chinooks walked it off on a pass ball. Counts 1-1 on Provencio. Monday ready. Here's the pitch. Taken inside on the breaking ball, so 2-1 now on Provencio. Soft day here at Mulcahy Stadium, not too much noise. A game out there in right field, but it looks like it's just some people having fun. And center field, maybe an American Legion game. Monday long pause, dangles out his right arm. Now comes set out of the stretch. Counts 2-1 on Provencio, just underway here at Mulcahy Stadium. Check back on first. Haas is in sliding. Haas is a nifty guy over there at first. He takes a decent sized lead and he has speed, so definitely a steal threat.
The three-man crew tonight, you have to be extra careful because it's going to be a lot easier to call that pickoff attempt at first.
Monday comes set, ready for the 2-1 pitch. Here it is. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Fastball right on by. So it's 2-2 now on Provencio. Like I said, Bucs just 1 run last night, trying to get the offense going. They scored 3 runs against the Miners last Friday, but lost 5-3. Actually had a bit of a rally late in the game, but a double play to end it. Counts 2-2 on Provencio. Here's the offering, swung on, chop foul right side. And they'll do the 2-2 again. Provencio comes in, 341, 460 on base percentage. So, finds his way on base almost half the time. Has dwindled down, though, in that average as of late. A bit of a slump. Defense played straight up for the Miners. It's Eberhard holding Haas on at first. Monday ready. Here's the 2-2 pitch. In there for cold strike on the off speed. It was a changeup that just whipped towards the middle of the dish. So there's 1 gone here in the top of the first.
Now batting for your Anchorage Bucs, the designated hitter, number 1, Luke Taylor.
So now Luke Taylor comes to the plate for Anchorage. In the bottom of the first, 1 gone here. Runner on board, it's Grant Haas after he blooped a leadoff single to center field. Miners hold a 1.5 game lead on first place, their largest of the season. You don't want them to start running away with it if you're Anchorage. Monday set. Haas off first. Here's the pitch, breaking ball missed inside. So 1-0 now on the DH. Luke Taylor back at that DH spot, played catcher last night. He's switched between DHing and catching. Has caught 3 games so far this season, and the pass ball eventually won it for the Chinooks yesterday. Counts 0-1 on him. Make that 1-0. Here's the offering. Breaking ball fought off foul right side. Good day at the plate, though, yesterday for Luke Taylor. First multi-hit game in over 2 weeks. Went 2 for 4 with 2 singles, but both of them very hard hit off the bat. Both ripped towards left field. That's what he can do when he's going. Been in a bit of a slide, though, before last night. Hoping to continue the momentum. Counts 1-1 on him. Haas takes his lead off first. Monday, long pause. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. Nasty stuff. And it's 1-2.
Yeah, the off speed, definitely the best pitch so far tonight from Mundy. He is really getting some nasty swings from the Bucs tonight. So he's got to figure out the timing of the swing, which has been way off for the Bucs in recent nights.
Aiden Espinoza, over from UCLA, playing left field. He's about 10 feet in front of the track, playing Luke Taylor very deep. Here's the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Breaking ball in the other batter's box. And there's 2 gone here in the bottom of the first.
Now batting for your Anchorage Bucs, the second baseman, number
So
13.
second strikeout of the evening for Connor Mundy. 2 outs now, and Landon Underhill, the cleanup man, is up to bat. Underhill playing second base today. 288 average on the season. Also in a little bit of a slump. It's a theme here for the Bucs. 2 for his last 13. Monday checks on Haas over at first. 2 gone here, bottom 1. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. An off-speed pitch down into the dirt. And it's 0-1 on Underhill. It's been too much swing and miss for the Bucs as of late. And a little bit of indecisive hitting. They've looked at a couple called strikes. Already one looking, one swinging so far. Just underway here in the bottom of the first. Counts 0-1 on Underhill. Haas takes his lead off first base. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss again. Another off speed, and it's 0-2 on Underhill. Outfield slightly shifted to right. Infield played pretty straight up. Underhill has shown the capability of going the other way. Counts 0-2 on him. 2 outs here, bottom 1. Here's the kick and the deal. Fastball upstairs. 1-2 now on Landon. 5 extra base hits. Good for second on the team behind Luke Taylor. Everyone just trying to get it to click again, though. This would be a big win for the Bucs. Get it to a half-game lead. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Taken down in the dirt. This time Underhill held off. So 2-2.
Of all the pitches to take, I'm surprised that is the one that Underhill did. Looked like it might hit the bottom part of the zone. But Mundy's just been given the idea that he's going to get a lot of swings, so why stop throwing it?
You go back to the breaking ball if it's working.
Yep.
He has that changeup that's been moving left to right. Counts 2-2, 2 outs. Here's the pitch, swung on, lifted high in the air towards right field. Back goes Geffrey towards the corner, and he makes the grab about 5 feet in front of the wall. It was good contact from Landon Underhill, perhaps a little bit off the end of the bat. We'll head to the second inning. 1 hit and 1 man left on base for the Bucs. We'll be right back. It's Bucs Baseball. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium. Glad you're with us here on the top of the second inning between the Bucs and the Miners. Milo Hoffman here with Alex Burstein. Trace Hartman takes the hill for the second inning. He's making the start, but his first start of the season, normally out of the bullpen. So see how long he can go. Like Alex just said during the break, he's gone multiple innings in all of his relief appearances, so has some length. Here's the pitch in there for a strike to Ridge Erickson. And it's 0-1.
Thanks for crediting something that you totally didn't have to because no one heard that.
Yeah, that's true.
That was nice of you.
Yeah, no problem. 0-1 pitch, off speed missed outside. 1-1 now on Erickson, who I'll tell you, he is a hitter. 413 average, that's best in the ABL. Counts 0-1 on him. Here's the pitch, high and in, but called a strike from home plate umpire Jesse Segura. So it's 0-2 now. Make that 1-2. Scoreboard out there. Just the pitch behind. Jesse Segura at home. Ethan McCraney, Kenny Atkin at first. Off speed, just missed outside. 2-2. Here in the top of the second, nothing between the Bucs and the Miners. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Ridge Erickson, the cleanup hitter for the Miners. Pitch, fastball, missed high and in. So 3-2 now on Erickson. Hitting .523 over his last 5 games is Erickson, and in that span, just 1 strikeout. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball just narrowly missed outside. Almost his 2nd strikeout in that span, but instead a leadoff walk here in the 2nd. And there's a runner aboard with nobody out.
Yeah, I'm surprised Erickson was that confident in taking off for first. That was a very, very borderline call. We saw a couple pitches at bat that could have gone either way, but Erickson gets the benefit of the doubt. Now Hartman just has to shake it off.
Shake it off, remind me of Taylor Swift right there. Hartman shows bunt, down the third base line, charging Provencio barehanded, he has no play. Throw back to second, not in time, as Erickson's back sliding. It was a nice bunt from Carter Eberhard. Runners on first and second now, nobody out. We're in the top of the second.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you're not expecting someone to bunt. Eberhard is a solid hitter all season long for this Miners team, and the Bucs just were completely caught off guard. Provencio got to the ball quickly, but just playing out, you don't really have a chance at that play.
Absolutely no chance, and it was a perfectly executed bunt. Slowly down the third base line. Here's the pitch to Espinoza, who also shows bunt. It's a called strike on the outside corner. Espinoza, first game against the Bucs. So far, 2 of 8 to start off the season with 1 double. Comes over from UCLA, playing left field today. Ren Matsuzaki, the first baseman, actually in front of Eberhard. Here's the pitch. Off speed misses outside. So 1-1. A walk and a bunt have the Miners threatening here in the top of the second. Eberhard takes his lead off first after a perfectly executed bunt. It's Erickson over at second. Here's the pitch to Espinoza. Pop high in the air towards third. Provencio steps on the bag, has no play towards first. It was a high chopper. He got the force out at third base, so Erickson's out. 1 gone here, still first and second for the Miners.
Yeah, that one was chopped so high you couldn't tell where it was going to land for a second. Looked like it might just go way over the head of Provencio, but he kind of was playing it perfectly where the ball just fell right into his glove, and good idea to get the lead runner there.
So now, 1 out here. James McGee, the hitter, the catcher today. Hartman ready. Pitch. Fastball just missed down low. 1-0 on James McGee, hitting .160 on the season, the lowest average for the Miners so far. He's had the last 2 games off, so back in action today against the Bucs. Here's the 1-0 pitch, chopped slowly foul, third base side. 4 RBIs on the season for McGee. His last game actually played against the Bucs back on Friday when the Miners took it 5-3. That game actually gave Matsu the season series lead. They're up 3-2 over Anchorage. Counts 1-1 on McGee. Infield at double play depth. Off-speed pitch, hit high in the air towards left field. Playable for Gamel. Goes back and he makes the catch. So 2 gone here in the top of the second.
Yeah, no movement out there at all in left field by Gamel. He's back in that position after kind of bouncing around for a few games. Bucs still experimenting with their outfield. You talk about that season series and why it's important. For a time there, the teams had the same record, but the Miners in first because of season series. And with as close as things are, you really, really want to own the lead over teams.
Now the hitter Lincoln Stevenson looks at a breaking ball down in the dirt. 1-0 now on the center fielder. 271 average on the season. Get this, Stevenson actually has had at least an RBI in 5 of his last 6 games. Runner in scoring position now. Pitch outside. 2-0 now. Miners wearing their camo jerseys, like I said. With those socks, the socks have bright yellow stripes that go around them in circles around the calf. Stevenson wears his socks way high, so you got a good view of the green socks. Counts 2-0 on him. Here was the pitch, swung on, hit on the ground, right side through for a base hit. Rounding second is Eberhard. He gets the wave. Throw from Logan Ewell is not in time. Nice backup by Hartman. Going to third on the play is Espinoza. And that's an RBI single for Lincoln Stevenson. And the Miners have a 1-0 lead here in the top of the second.
Oh, you talked about how good he is at getting RBIs. That one just grounded perfectly through the gap on the right side, and you have speedy guys all over the base paths. I was expecting there to be a double steal earlier in the at-bat, but you don't even need it. You get a guy in to score early on, and this is exactly what we said the Bucs cannot have happen against this swing-happy Miners team.
So now runners on the corners for Matsu. Hartman in his second inning of work. He got the start today, his first start of the season. 1-0, Miners on top. Hitter is now Greg Parentoni. Here's the pitch, chopped on the ground. Third base side fair, past Provencio, down to left field. One run comes around to score. It's Espinoza. Going to third is Eberhard, and that's a double for Greg Parentoni, and it's 2-0 here in the top of the second.
Yeah, there's really nothing you can do about a ball like that. Provencio made a great diving effort. Tried to backhand it down the line, but there was no chance at it. You squeak it down the line. Good job out there in left field by Gamel to get to the ball quickly, but this Miners offense just really knows how to find the infield gaps.
Now back to the top of the lineup. It's Funkhauser, shows Bond, looks at a breaking ball strike. So it's 0-1 now on Funkhauser, who grounded out to third to start off the game in the first. Runners on second and third for the Miners. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball just missed down low. 1-1 on Funkhauser. Just one extra base hit in his last 6 games for Cole, but it came against the Bucs. Hit a leadoff homer against Anchorage last time out. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball pours in for a strike. So 1-2.
And this is really big for Hartman because you don't want this to be a long bullpen game. You just have to lock in, get this third out, and then try to keep going. He's a guy with a sub-2 ERA, so this is uncharacteristic.
1-2 pitch, fouled off, third base side. Funkhauser making the early judge to be a buck killer here in the season. There's been a couple guys who've done really well against Anchorage, but so far he's been excellent. Has that grand slam last Monday. The Miners came back. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball missed outside. The Bucs are up 8-1. And then Cole Funkhauser's grand slam gave Matsu a 10-8 lead, and they didn't look back. Well, that's what changed the whole momentum for Anchorage, yeah. 2-2, here it is. That's popped high in the air, right side. Foul territory. Matsuzaki gives it a look, and it makes its way into the seats. So they'll do the 2-2 again. Just underway here at Mulcahy Stadium. 2 runs home in the top of the second for the Miners. They lead 2-0. Trace Hartman trying to work out of this frame. 3 hits already given up to Matsu. Runners take their leads off second and third. Paratoni at second, Stevenson at third. Pitch, line, left side, foul. Just barely, about 4 feet. Funkhauser just a little bit out in front, so it's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the second, deuce is wild here at Mulcahy Stadium. Hartman takes a pause, now gets the sign, comes set. Here's the 2-2 offering, fouled off right side. It was a fastball that Funkhauser just got a piece of. So still 2-2 on the leadoff man. He works at bats almost every time he's up, but just a .226 average. Puts the ball in play a whole bunch though. No strikeouts, last 16 at bats, make that 17 now. Runners take their leads now. Runners on second and third. 2-2. Here it is. Breaking ball missed inside, and it's full on Funkhauser. Carson Grout, the number 2 hitter, awaits on deck. He struck out back in the first inning. It was a nice 1-2-3 first for Hartman. Now some trouble in the top of the second. He comes set, ready for the 3-2. Here it is. Swung on, lifted high in the air towards left field. Playable for Gamel. He camps under it, and he makes the grab to retire the side. But the Miners do get 2 runs here in the top of the second, It's 2-0 Matsu on top. We'll head to the home half. Don't go anywhere. It's Bucs baseball. We'll be right back. Back at Mulcahy Stadium as we head to the bottom of the second inning. The Bucs are down 2-0 to the Miners. Still Connor Mundy on the hill for Matsu. And now hitting for Anchorage is Ren Matsuzaki. He's playing first base today, making his second start over at that position. Normally the catcher, but splitting time with Reese Sherman and now Luke Taylor. Right on left matchup here to start off the frame. Mundy comes set out of the stretch. Here's the pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. And it's 0-1. Matsuzaki hitting .333 on the season. Has been real good when he's in the lineup. Smooth lefty hitter. Counts 0-1 on him. Here's the pitch. Down low, and it's 1-1. Looks like Connor Mundy doesn't really have a windup. Just pitches out of the stretch. Does it switch when there's runners on or not? Counts 1-1 on Matsuzaki. Here in the bottom of the second, it's 2-0 Miners. Long pause. Now he's ready. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Just missed inside. Barely. And it's 2-1. Fastball had nice electricity from Monday, but couldn't get the call there, so 2-1. Home plate umpire Jesse Segura today. Here's the offering. Swung on, hit on the ground right side. Second baseman Funkhauser gobbles and throws the first in time. So, one out here, bottom second. Logan Yule, the hitter. That was a nonchalant play for Cole Funkhauser. That throw was probably 30 miles an hour over to first.
Yeah, he kind of underhand sidearmed it to first base. I mean, I guess Matsuzaki, not the quickest runner, but you'd love a little harder throw if you're a coach and you see that happen.
And now Logan Yule, the hitter. Monday comes set. Here's the pitch to the right fielder. Breaking ball almost hit him. So it's 1-0 on Yule. 261 average on the season. Yesterday, a rough one. Left 6 guys on base. Stranded the bases loaded with a strikeout. He wiggles his dark bat. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. A big hack, and it's 1-1. You can hear Kirk Schreider say, "Stay in the middle," over from third base. Coaching on from third base today, as Joe Silva was ejected yesterday, so not coaching today. He's here at Mulcahy Stadium, though, not exactly sure where he is. Here's the 1-1 pitch, inside on the fastball, so 2-1.
Yeah, I didn't see him in the dugout right before the game. It doesn't mean he's not in there, but I'm guessing probably in the clubhouse. Maybe there's some secret box for ejected players.
Maybe.
Maybe he's in one of the boxes up here.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know.
Counts 2-1 on Logan Yule. Here's the pitch, swung on, laced, right side foul. Off the barrel, but about 10 feet foul down the right field line. So it's 2-2 now on the right fielder. He's really established that right field position. All the way back to the exhibition games. He actually didn't start the first game. Ever since then, he's been hitting well. So why not put him in the lineup every day? 2-2 count on him. He rests his bat on his left shoulder. Monday set, ready. Here's the pitch, taken down low. A nice take from Yule, and it's full. Here in the bottom of the second at Mulcahy Stadium, 2-0 Miners on top. They scored 2 in the top half of the frame. Bucs trying to come back. Full count on Logan Yule. 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Here's the pitch, swung on, laced down the right field line, fair. It goes all the way into the corner. Rounding first is Yule, and he'll cruise into second. Now he gets the sign, he rounds second, steaming for third. Throw is not in time. That's a 1-out triple for Logan Yule, and the Bucs have a runner on third with 1 out here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, with all the lefties that this Bucs team has, you're kind of surprised that doesn't happen more often. He just takes that one down the line in a really, really good play by Yule. He's fast, and that's impressive base coaching from Kirk Schreider. His first time over at third this season, but sends the risky send, and it works out.
And Carter Geffrey, the right fielder, had some trouble finding it over there in the corner. Geffrey also a catcher, so now spending some time out in right field. Hitters Reese Sherman. Here's the pitch, breaking ball missed high and in. So 1-0. Looks like the middle of the infield is playing back. So is the third baseman Carson Grout. It's just first base Carter Eberhard is in on the turf. Outfield played straight up. The left fielder Espinoza about 10 feet in front of the track. Counts 1-0. Here's the offering, breaking ball in there for a strike. 1-1 now, Reese Sherman. Sherman comes in, 267 average. 2 for his last 14, though. Didn't start last night. Reese Sherman had the duties, Luke Taylor had the duties behind the dish. Counts 1-1. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Just a flail from Sherman. So it's 1-2. Big chance for the Bucs. This is where they've been struggling, hitting with runners in scoring position. Logan Yule with a 1-out triple deep to right field. He takes his lead off third base now. Carson Grout about 15 feet behind him, not really holding him on. Mundy gets the sign, long pause now, comes set. 1-2 on Reese Sherman. Here's the kick and the deal. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. 2 gone here on the bottom of the second. A nice, nifty, moving slider from Connor Mundy and a big strikeout.
ERA 3 on the day for the right-hander. That's definitely the most important one yet. And now a big chance for Gamel to kind of break out of a struggling time for the left fielder at the plate.
Yeah, just 200 average for Gamel. Has not recorded a hit since June 13th. 2 outs, a big moment. Runner on third for the Bucs. Monday comes set. Now he's ready. Here's the pitch, swung on, chopped right side, fair. Eberhard gloves it and goes to the bag in time. So an easy out, and that does it here in the bottom of the second. We'll head to the top of the third. The Bucs leave Logan Yule stranded at third after his triple. We'll be right back. It's Bucs Baseball. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium as we head to the third inning. Still 2-0 Miners on top. Trace Hartman still pitching for the Bucs in his third inning of work. His first start of the season. His fourth appearance, though, has come out of the bullpen in the previous 3. Hitter is Carson Ground. He looks at a pitch outside. So 1-0 now on the number 2 hitter. Grout back in the first, struck out swinging. Second out of a 1-2-3 frame for Trace Hartman. He kicks and deals. Here's the 1-0 pitch, foul back, and it's 1-1.
That foul ball brought to you by the Associated Builders and Contractors.
1-1 on Carson Grout. This season, just 3 for 19 against Anchorage. Has struggled against the Bucs. Here's the 1-1 pitch, a wave and a miss. 1-2. Nice breaking ball from Trace Hartman. Hartman normally features a fastball, slider, curveball, and an occasional splitter. He's gotten to multiple of those so far today. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball hit hard on the ground towards first baseman Matsuzaki. He'll take it himself. And that's the first down at the top of the third. A nice play from Ren Matsuzaki. He sort of hesitated. Trace Hartman did a nice job covering, but Matsuzaki opted not to throw to the pitcher, and he took it himself nice and easily. Now it's Carter Geffrey, the right fielder. Flew out back in the first inning. Hartman kicks and deals. Pitch, fastball missed outside. 1-0 now on Geffrey. Comes in hitting .360 on the season. It's really the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Miners that are just almost impossible to get out. Breaking ball, calls strike on the outside corner. You got Geffrey hitting .360, Erickson hitting .413, and Eberhard hitting .304. Murderer's row here in the ABL. 1-1 now on Geffrey. Here's the kick and the deal. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
The scary part is you don't even have Elliot Medlock.
That's
He's
true.
back tomorrow, and he might be the best hitter on this entire team.
Medlock leads the team in homers, tied at the top of the ABL with Luke Taylor with 3 of them. Also the leader in stolen bases for the Miners. Here's the 1-2 pitch, hit softly on the ground towards second base. Underhill charges and throws in time. Off the inside of the bat there, must have been 50 miles an hour off the barrel. And there's 2 gone.
Now batting the designated hitter number 6, Ridge Erickson.
So back-to-back groundouts here in the top of the third for Trace Hartman. Ridge Erickson, the hitter. He walked back in the second. Didn't make it all the way around, though. 2 runs came home in the second, but Erickson was out on the fielder's choice at third base. Hartman kicks and deals. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball almost hit him, and it's 1-1. Erickson leads the league with a .413 average, but he's been way better as of late. It came on late for Erickson. He swings and lifts one high in the air, right field. Foul territory. Matsuzaki gives it a look, but he doesn't have a play. It goes into the bleachers down the right field line. He's been really hot as of late. Like I said, .523 average over his last 5 games. He didn't start out the hottest hitter on the team, but he's come on as a guy who's just almost impossible to get out. On base percentage up near 500. Hartman ready. Counts 1-1. Pitch, breaking ball, wave and a miss. 1-2. So 1-2 now, 2 outs here in the top of the third. Miners lead 2-0 over the Bucs. 3 hits on the day for Matsu, 2 on the day for Anchorage. Hartman set, long pause at the belt. Now he moves his glove to the letters. Here's the 1-2, breaking ball missed outside. This time it was a take from Erickson, and 2-2. Defense played straight away for the Bucs, prevents you about 10 feet from the third base foul line. Here's the 2-2 pitch, fastball just missed outside. So it's full now on Ridge Erickson. 2 outs here in the top of the third. Miners hold a 2-0 lead. They also hold a 1.5 game lead for first place here in the ABL. Payoff pitch, swung on, fouled at the dish, and they'll do it again. Just a high hack from Ridge Erickson. That was aiming towards his shoulder. Definitely would have been ball 4, but still full on the DH.
Yeah, for someone who's already drawn a walk today and run it full, I'm surprised at kind of the lack of plate discipline
Yeah.
on that one.
We got a piece of it. Hartman kicks and deals. Payoff pitch is fouled back. Just under it was Erickson. So they'll do the payoff once again here. Top of the third. Glad you're with us. Milo Hoffman here with Alex Burstein. 2 outs. Bucs trying to come back and win a game to start off July. Lost 5 of their last 6. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on, lifted high in the air towards center field. McGarry turns his back. Now he turns towards the ball, and he makes the grab about 15 feet in front of the track. So the side is retired here in the top of the third, and we head to the home half. The Bucs are down 2-0 here at Mulcahy Stadium. We'll be right back. It's Bucs baseball. Don't go. Welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium as we head to the home half of the third inning. The Bucs trying to spur some offense here, down 2-0 to the Miners. It's Kai McGarry, the number 9 hitter, leading off for Anchorage. Connor Mundy still on the hill for Matsu. First pitch in the dirt, and it's 1-0, a breaking ball. Nice block from James McGee. Bucs trying to get some runs on the board. Coming off their fewest run total of the season, 1 run last night against the Chinooks. Monday, long pause, ready for the 1-0. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. And it's 1-1. Breaking ball that McGarry was way out in front of, just kind of flailed his bat. His half yellow, half black bat. Fits the Bucs really well. Of course, comes from ASU. Counts 1-1 on him. Pitch, fastball, high and in. 2-1. McGarry, another guy who wears his socks real high. The Bucs also have those stripes that surround the black socks for them. Real speedy center fielder who made the last out in the top frame. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball, called a strike on the outside corner. A late call from Jesse Segura, but it's 2-2 now on McGarry. Now this is why you put Kai McGarry at the 9 spot. He's hit leadoff probably the majority of the regular season so far for the Bucs, but this almost like a double leadoff situation for Anchorage. Here's the 2-2 pitch, hit foul right side. 298 average on the season, 11 RBIs, 10 stolen bases, which leads the Alaska Baseball League. Went in a little bit of a stolen base drought though, but had one last night. His previous 4 though, before that, only had 1. He rests his bat on his right shoulder, now picks it up. Ready for the 2-2. Here's Monday's delivery. Swung on, chopped on the ground towards short. Parentoni charges, gloves, fields, fires in time. And there's 1 gone here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, Parentoni's been really good against the Bucs, helped turn a couple of impressive double plays his last time out against this team, and just all season long he's shown to be one of the more steadfast infielders in the league. You don't want to hit the ball his way for the Bucs.
And he had to come in on that one, not hit incredibly hard towards short, but he's nifty over there. Here's Grant Haas. Pitch to him is outside the Bucs shortstop. It's been such a good season for Parantonia defensively. Hasn't recorded an error since June 15th. Almost everyday guy for the Miners. Sometimes plays second as well. Counts 1-0 on Haas. He looks at a fastball strike on the outside corner. 1-1 now on Grand, who started off the game with a blooping single to center field. But he was stranded there. 1-1, 1 out here, bottom 3. Monday set takes a long pause. Now kicks and deals. Breaking ball in there for a strike. And it's 1-2. Monday has the breaking ball working today. His slider with that right to left action has been tight, sharp, and hard to pick up for the Buck hitters. Big gap between shortstop and second base. Counts 1-2 on Haas. Here's the kick and the deal. Swing and a miss. A breaking ball in the other batter's box. And there's 2 gone here in the bottom of the third. It's Connor Mundy's 3rd strikeout of the day. And all of them have been on the breaking balls. A couple of them outside to righty hitters. Just really nice stuff for Connor Mundy, who's coming off a good start against the Bucs. 5 1/3 of 2-run ball. So, he likes playing Anchorage, to say the least. Pitch to Provencio is an off-speed in there for a strike. 0-1. When a pitcher has it going, it's obvious, and it's obvious right now. 0-1, 2 outs here, bottom of the third at Mulcahy Stadium. Here's the pitch, a whale and a miss. 0-2.
The Bucs are also just making it easy on pitchers right now. They're swinging at pitches they shouldn't, and they're looking at a lot of pitches that they should be swinging at. That's just been the name of the game the last 3-4 outings for this Bucs team.
Long pause for Connor Mundy. Shakes off James McGee a couple times. Now gets the pitch that he likes. Ready for the 0-2. 2 outs here. Here's the offering. Fastball just missed high and wide. 1-2 now on Provencio. Luke Taylor awaits on deck. The DH today. Mundy trying to work his 3rd clean inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Fastball missed at the eyes. So 2-2.
Looks like Sean Toger warming up for the Bucs in the bullpen. Surprising out of the usual starter for the Bucs. We were under the assumption he would start today. That's what the rotation has been, but looks like he'll be a call out of the pen maybe next inning.
Trace Hartman, a little bit of a opener type situation. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Monday ready. Here's the pitch. Swung on, lofted in the air, left side. Foul territory. Grout there. Camps under, and he makes the grab. So a foul out to third base for James Provencio. And a nice, nifty, quick inning for Connor Mundy. 1-2-3, go the Bucs. And we head to the 4th. It's still 2-0 Miners on top. Don't go anywhere. It's Bucs baseball. Welcome back inside the Mulcahy Stadium broadcast booth. Milo Hoffman, Alex Burstein here for the top of the 4th inning. And the Miners still hold a 2-0 lead over the Bucs. Leading off for Matsu is Carter Everhard, the first baseman. Still Trace Hartman on the hill for the Bucs. In his 4th inning of work. Pitch lofted high in the air towards left field. Gamel reaches over towards the foul line. Still looks up, extends his arm, and he makes the play as he crashes into the fence. Nice nifty play from Austin Gamel, the left fielder. And there's 1 out here in the top of the 4th.
That's a really nice run from the left field there. We mentioned he's been playing all over, and he really seems comfortable defensively wherever you put him. His bat's still coming along, but when you have a true utility guy like that, he's so helpful to pretty much any team.
Now Aiden Espinoza, the hitter. He grounds one right side. Underhill reaches over to his left. Now Fields fires in time. And there's 2 quick outs here in the top of the 4th. Exactly what you want if you're the Bucs. Trace Hartman has looked really good so far today, other than that shaky second inning where he allowed 2 runs. 2 quick outs here in the top of the 4th. Sean Toger, I believe, has sat down.
Someone's
Maybe
walking.
he's walking the bullpen. It's hard to tell out here from our vantage point. We're about 100 yards out. Pitch is in there for a strike to James McGee, the catcher. Quickly 0-1.
And you still have the audacity to hate on the on-field bullpens.
Yeah, it's true, but don't you think it's, like, safer? Breaking ball misses outside.
Well, the catcher is facing away, but he has equipment on, so it's not going to hurt him. And who is ever pitching is looking on, so they're not going to get hit by a ball. It's not real safety concerns.
Oh, no. 1-1 pitch, misses outside. But it's just like, you know, it's the MLB. That's what they do in the big leagues. And so the ABL is trying to match that here at Mulcahy Stadium, at least. 2 teams played here. More than half the games are played at Mulcahy Stadium in the ABL. The other 2 fields, Herman Brothers and Lee Jordan, home of the Miners and the Chinooks. Here's the pitch, grounded sharply left side. Haas dives and he can't make the play. It trickles into left field. That'll be a single for James McGee. And there's a runner aboard with 2 outs here at the top of the 4th.
Yeah, nice effort from Haas there. Even if he had dug it out, probably would not have been able to get up and throw in time. A lot of space he had to make up. Good to even get a glove on the ball like that. Luckily, it didn't deflect into double territory for McGee, but when even McGee is hitting, that means it's a good night for the Bucs team because he struggled this year.
Fastball misses low and away to Lincoln Stevenson. What a big hit back in the second. A single that brought home a run. One of 2 runs scored by the Miners in the frame. James McGee takes his lead off first. Hartman kicks and deals. Off speed in there for a strike. So 1-1 now on Stevenson. He already has his RBI. Now has an RBI in 6 of his last 7 games. 11 of them. Pitch grounded right back to Hartman, the pitcher. He takes a few steps off the rubber, tosses over to first in time, and that'll do it here in the top of the 4th. Hartman and the Bucs work around a 2-out single from James McGee and leave him stranded over at first base. We'll head to the home half. Bucs still down 2-0. It's Anchorage Bucs baseball. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium, everyone. Milo Hoffman with Alex Burstein. Glad you're joining us from wherever you may be. It's still 2-0. Miners on top over the Bucs. Anchorage trying to get some offense going here, starting with Luke Taylor, the DH. So far, he's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Hitting .278 on the season. Had a nice night last night. 2 for 4 against the Chinooks. Still Connor Mundy on the hill for the Miners. 4th inning of work. Here's the pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. And it's 0-1. Luke Taylor takes a couple steps outside of the box. He sort of smiled through the dugout after that pitch was thrown. Maybe not a fan of it. Joey Narrett, Joe Silva thrown out of last night's game after arguing a strike 3 call. Counts 0-1 on Taylor. Long pause. Now here's the pitch. Breaking ball tapped foul. And it's 0-2.
It's really been this season when Taylor has a swing, the rest of the team kind of follows suit. So he's the guy, him and Underhill, this 3-4 duo. You want them to be hitting because they've just induced much of the offense this season for Anchorage.
Yeah, yesterday, though, wasn't the case. Taylor had a nice day, 2 for 4, but I will say 2 singles.
Exactly.
Want
You
him-
need some doubles,
Right.
triples from him.
Extra base hits have been the name of the game. Counts 0-2. Here's the pitch. Top foul once again. So 0-2 on Taylor still. When he gets into long at-bats, he gains confidence. He gets more momentum. He sees more pitches, and therefore has a higher chance of him making hard contact. Yesterday's 2 singles were rippers off the bat, so nice to see from Luke Taylor after he was in a little bit of a slide. Leadoff man here in the bottom of the 4th. Bucks down 2-0. Just 2 hits on the day for Anchorage. Mundy comes set, counts 0-2. Here's the pitch. Check swing, goes all the way back to the backstop. Appeal to first. And it's safe, says Kenny Aitken. So 1-2 now on Luke Taylor. Luke Taylor almost fully lunged at that one, but held back just in time. Propelled by his bright yellow batting gloves, his bright yellow sneakers. Sporting all the Long Beach equipment. When he's catching, he has the bright yellow catching gear as well. 1-2 on the DH. Mundy comes set. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball missed. 2-2. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Still no runs on the board for the Bucs. Down 2-0. Just 2 hits on the day. And the offense continues to be at a premium for Anchorage. It's kind of mind-boggling after the Bucs offense was so good in the first 2 weeks of the season. Got off to that 7-1 start. Looked like they were the best team in the league by far. Now you look up, a game and a half out of first. There's the 2-2 pitch, swung on, lofted foul behind the plate. So still 2-2 on Taylor. 13 RBIs on the season for Taylor, but also 12 strikeouts, which leads the team. Kind of a go big or go home guy. A slugger who can rip doubles and hit homers, but also bound to strike out. 8 more strikeouts than he has walks this season. Counts 2-2. Here's the pitch. Hit high in the air towards right field. Geffrey goes back now in front of the track, and he makes the grab. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. A high fly out for Taylor. And now Landon Underhill, the hitter for the Bucs.
Number 13, Landon Underhill.
The Bucs have had a couple long flyouts today, but can't get it quite to the wall. So far, the best chance Anchorage has had was when Logan Ewell ripped a triple down the right field line, but he was stranded. Landon Underhill now up. Pitch to him is in the dirt, so it's 1-0. Underhill flew out back in the 1st inning. Another guy who's been in a little bit of a slump, now 2 for his last 14. Against the Miners, he's 3 for 16. It's not the team he enjoys playing as much. He's ahead the count, though, 1-0. Pitch, breaking ball, pours in for a strike. 1-1.
I'm surprised the Bucs haven't been able to locate that breaking ball much because it does take some speed off of it, and it often ends up near the middle of the zone. If you time it up, especially as a lefty, it can go a long way. They just haven't been able to yet.
See if Underhill can do something now. Counts 1-1. Pitch, he does something. Lifts it high in the air towards right field. Geffrey looks at it in foul territory, and he doesn't have a play. Man, that exit velocity, that must have been close to 100 off the bat. Underhill is smiling, talking to James McGee, the catcher. I mean, that was scorched in the air.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he's done all year.
Yeah.
What his home run over the right field fence looked very similar to that. And we mentioned the lefties can do something with that. He's finding his stuff. Now try to come back with something similar on the next pitch.
1-2 on Underhill. A vicious hack. One out here, bottom 4. Miners on top, 2-0. Monday comes set. Wind starts to blow here at Mulcahy. He's the kick in the deal. Swung on, chopped up the middle, right back to Mundy. He tosses to first. And it's a ground out for Underhill. And 2 gone here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Now batting for your Anchorage Bucs, the first baseman, number 10, Ren Matsuzaki.
The Bucs still struggling to get offense on the board. They're just a tick off. That foul from Underhill. I mean, a week and a half ago, he smokes that over the fence. Now just a bit out in front of it, pulled it foul. Ren Matsuzaki trying to spark a 2-out rally here. Bitch, he lofts it in the air, right side foul. That was scorched as well, all the way towards the street into the parking lot. So 0-1 on Matsuzaki. I've yet to see Matsuzaki really tap into his slugging potential. He's hitting high, 333 coming into this game, but the extra base hits have been at a premium. 0-1 now into first baseman. Here's the pitch, wave and a miss. 0-2. Breaking ball that pretty much hit the dirt. So 0-2 now, 2 outs here, bottom 4. Miners up 2-0. The Bucs win, they'll cut it to a half-game lead for first place in the ABL. Monday comes set. Here's the pitch, bounced up there. And it's 1-2. It's funny to see how much James McGee and catchers attempt to block balls even though there's nobody on base. It's almost like for their mental psyche, they want to keep it in front of them.
Yeah. I mean, you have to imagine he knows the bases are loaded, but or not
Other-
loaded, but bases are empty. But he still just wants to get ready.
1-2 on Ren Matsuzaki. Right on left matchup here in the bottom of the 4th. Here's the pitch, left upstairs. It was a fastball. So 2-2 now on Matsuzaki. Grounded out to second base, back in the 2nd inning. Second game as the first baseman today. First base is clogged up for the Bucs. You got a whole bunch of players: Nate Muncy, Corey Bantam, Sean Toger, RJ Rouet, and now Ren Matsuzaki in the mix. There's the 2-2 pitch, hit hard right side, and it drops in front of Geffrey for a single. Oh, a nice ripper single for Matsuzaki. Now runner aboard with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, a very hard hit ball similar to his foul ball a couple of pitches before. A good job by Geffrey there. He kind of tripped as he was going for it. He stuck out his arm, and that hit the ball as it was on one bounce. That gets past him. Matsuzaki has at least 2 bases, so both teams with something to hang their hats on for that one.
Now the hitter Logan Ewell, first pitch to him is in the dirt. Nice block by McGee this time with the runner on.
So you just have to get ready, because when it does happen, you want to be just as locked in.
1-0 on Ewell. One of the 3 hits so far for the Bucs. Had a triple down the right field line. Looking to do some damage this time around. Monday long pause, checks on the runner. Here's the pitch. Missed outside on the heat. So it's 2-0 now on Logan Ewell. A 2-out rally could really spark this team. Give the dugout some juice. Monday comes set. Counts 2-0 on the right fielder. Matsuzaki takes his lead off first. Here's the offering, left outside on the fastball. So 3-0 now on Logan Ewell. 2-0 Miners on top, 3-0 count on Logan Ewell. Matsuzaki with a lead off first base after he just knocked a 2-out single. Ewell waves his black bat. Monday set. Counts 3-0. Long pause. Here's the pitch. Down low.
Oof.
A late call from Jesse Segura. I guess there was no call because it was ball 4. So Logan Ewell takes his walk. Matsuzaki up 90 feet to second. And now there's first and second for the Bucs here. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Looks like pitching coach Steve Hecker will take a long walk out from the dugout. Wears his Hawks socks way high. We'll talk to his pitcher Connor Mundy. First and second now for the Bucs. There are 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th, and I'll tell you, a big hit right here could do wonders for Anchorage. You know, probably bring home a run with Matsuzaki at second base, and it would keep the line moving. Ray Sherman will be the hitter, the catcher. Struck out back in the second inning. 0 for 1 on the day.
Yeah, you mentioned a little bit of a slump that Sherman's in, but he's had some big hits this year. It seemed a couple of games ago like he was kind of finding his power swing. You don't even need that right now. The Bucs just need to get something going offensively with a hit, but they'll take anything here to keep this rally going.
Partly cloudy skies here at Mulcahy Stadium. 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Runners lead off first and second for Anchorage. Hitters Reese Sherman. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. 0-1 now on the catcher. Like I said, Sherman struck out back in the second inning. It was a swinging strikeout. One of 4 strikeouts that Connor Mundy has to his name so far this evening. Gets the sign from McGee. Runners take their leads. Long pause. Counts 0-1. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball just missed outside. Oh, now it's 1-1 on the catcher. Sherman came in hitting .267. Has been on and off so far offensively. There's a couple of games he was the player of the game. Notched 4 RBIs in that 14-3 win over the Chinooks last Thursday, but has been in a bit of an offensive slide other than that game. 1-1 now on the catcher. There's the pitch, a wave and a miss. 1-2. Pitch was in the other batter's box.
Yeah, surprising swing there from Sherman after he laid off the last one. And now, down 1-2, you got to play a little bit of defense if you're Sherman, because you do not want to end this inning on a strikeout. It feels like a lot of times when the Bucs have these rallies going, it's a strikeout that just ends it.
1-2 the count. Runners off first and second. Sherman with his heavily closed stance. His bright yellow batting gloves. Now he's set. Mundy at the rubber gets the sign. Here's the pitch, swung on, chopped up the middle. Mundy leaps, can't make the play. It goes to Parentoni, the shortstop. He has no play, and the bases are loaded now with 2 outs for the Bucs. Everybody advances 90 feet. And a big opportunity coming up for Austin Gamel in Anchorage here. 2 outs, bases juiced.
Yeah, it's just a hard play for the pitcher because we've seen the ball very, very bouncy tonight on this turf. There was one similar over to Provencio in the hot corner that he was able to field, but a nice effort from the defense. When the ball is bouncing that much, it's hard to both gauge where it's going and obviously make the play itself. So a nice infield hit.
Now Austin Gamel up with the bases loaded. Mundy comes set at the belt, ready for the first pitch. Here it is, swung on, tapped down the third base line, foul. It was a slow roller that Carson Grout looked at, but then picked it up about 5 feet into foul territory. Now, if you flash back to last Friday, Austin Gamel came up. Bucs were down by 2. Bases were loaded, and he wrapped in to a unassisted 4-3 double play. And I bet he'd like to have that back. But a big situation now. Can make up for it with a knock right here. Bases loaded, 0-1 count on Austin Gamel. Mundy set, here's the pitch, a wave and a miss. 0-2. Nice off-speed from Connor Mundy. He's been working with that changeup all day long and went right back to it there.
Well, and you imagine he might get another ball here towards the outside because 3 pitches to Gamel this game, and all 3 of them have been swung on.
0-2, 2 outs, bases juice for the Bucs. A big moment here in the bottom of the 4th. Anchorage down 2-0. Mundy comes set. Ready for the 0-2. Here it is. Check swing. He went around. A called strike 3. And that retires the side. And the Bucs once again leave the bases loaded here at Mulcahy Stadium. We'll head to the 5th. Anchorage still down 2-0. We'll be right back. It's Bucs Baseball. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium, everyone, as we go to the top of the 5th inning. Bucks are still down 2-0 to the Miners. Glad you're with us. Milo Hoffman here with Alex Burstein. A new pitcher on the hill for the Bucks. It's Sean Toger coming out of the bullpen. Actually, his first appearance out of the pen. Has pitched 8 innings so far in 3 starts with a 5.63 ERA, 6 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Rich to Parentoni is in there for a fastball strike. Quickly 0-1. Parentoni so far today, well, he doubled back in the second. 1 for 1. 0-1 pitch, breaking ball, bounce towards third. Provencio scoops, fires to first, got him inside. A nice play from James Provencio, got it on the short hop. And there's 1 quick out here in the top of the 5th.
Now batting the second baseman, number 1, Cole Montgomery.
Oh, Sean Toker, that's exactly what you want to see out of him. Wind starts to pick up here at Mulcahy Stadium. I'm sure you could hear it. Blowing out to right field. Breaking ball in there for a strike. To Cole Funkhauser, the leadoff man.
It's more blowing in from right
Yeah,
field.
you're right.
It's going to be hard for these right-handed pull hitters to get much to fly here.
Toger kicks and deals the 0-1 pitch. Just misses outside. So 1-1 now on Funkhauser. 0 for 2 on the day with a ground out and a fly out. Pitch lofted towards shallow center field. Now second baseman Underhill grabs control and he makes the catch. So 2 quick outs here in the top of the 5th. Sean Toger working swiftly. Coming out of the bullpen for the first time this season. Interesting plan, to say the least. Now, Hartman, he went a full start. 4 innings, 2 runs. Pitch to Carter, make that Carson Grau is down low for a ball.
Yeah, and the more of the long starters the Bucks can get, the better for these busy stretch.
There's the 1-0 pitch. Off speed missed high and wide. 2-0 now on Carson Grau. It's a big batter. You want to halt any possible 2-out rally. Toger works fast. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Left upstairs. So 3-0 quickly. Grout today is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. 4 hits apiece for either side. Here's the 3-0 pitch. In there. Fastball strike. I'll tell you, Sean Toger is working fast. Almost faster than Kate Finazzo, who was dealing on the hill last night in Chugiak. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Breaking ball pours in for a strike. Carson Grout almost tossed his bat towards the dugout, but now he has to dig back in for a payoff pitch. 3-2, 2 outs here. Top of the 5th. Inside on the fastball. Almost hit Grout. So there's a runner on first now with 2 outs here. Top of the 5th. Sean Toger was working so well the first 2 batters, but a 2-out walk is never what you want to see. Almost stings more than anything else. You're so close, 1 strike away from getting out of the frame, and now you have to face Carter Geffrey, a 360 hitter, playing right field today. Grout takes his lead. Toger set at the chest. Here's the pitch, looked at for a strike. It's 0-1 now on Carter Geffrey. He's 0 for 2. It's funny, the first 3 batters for the Miners, oh, they're hitless. Geffrey flew out and grounded out. Check back to first. Grout's in safely. It's also a little bit confusing. You got Carson Grout and Carter Geffrey. It's the same sounds hitting 2-3 in the lineup, and they've just been excellent to start off the season.
And then Carter Eberhard, 2 batters
Exactly.
later.
Toger ready for the 0-1. Here's the offering, topped foul, third base side.
That foul ball brought to you by Alaska Restaurant Supply.
We're here in the top of the 5th at Mulcahy Stadium. No balls, 2 strikes. On Carter Geffrey, the right fielder. Bucks down 2-0 to the first place Miners. Toger comes set. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball missed outside. Runner takes off. He's safe in at second. That was a bounce throw from Reese Sherman. So now a runner in scoring position for the Miners. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the hitter, Carter Geffrey. Carson Grout got a nice jump there. Kind of a delayed steal, but it was successful. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Toger checks on. Geffrey over at second. Now he comes home, fouled off right side.
And I think Matsuzaki would have had him. He just didn't realize for a second that there was a man in motion. Everyone was kind of a second too slow on it, and ends up the Bucs who get the.
You said
brunt of the
Matsuzaki
defeat.
would have had him.
Or Sherman.
Oh,
my bad,
that would have been
Sherman.
tough from first base. A 2-3-6.
Too many
stolen
catchers in
base
this
caught.
game.
Here's the 1-2 breaking ball lofted high in the air towards left field. Gamel towards the wall, looks up, and that ball is foul. Would have been a homer, but just foul. Home plate umpire Jesse Segura was all over it, so still 1-2. I'll tell you, that's why the 2-out walks can come back to haunt you. A matter of probably 20 feet, and this is a 4-0 game. Toger with his glove attached to the letters of his jersey. Full pinstripes for the Bucs, and now he steps off.
Well, it's especially impressive with this wind because you're hitting that against the wind and still able to get that ball to go probably 330 feet or so.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
1-2 pitch is hammered on the ground, left side through for a base hit. It reaches Gamel, the left fielder. He comes up throwing, rounding third. The throw is in time from Gamel. A dart to nab Carson Grout. And they strand the runner. A big play from Austin Gamel. And we go to the home half of the fifth. Still 2-0. Bucs on top. Sorry, Bucs trailing. We'll be right back. It's Bucs Baseball. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium, everyone. 2-0. Miners on top as we head to the bottom of the fifth inning. It's a new pitcher on the hill for Matsu. It's Colin Miss Kelly making his fifth appearance of the season. No wins, no losses, 5.1 innings pitched with a 1.69 ERA and 9 strikeouts to his name. Has been really good out of the bullpen so far for the Miners. Has one appearance against the Bucs, and it was a pretty good one back a couple weeks ago on June 20th. 1.2 innings pitched, no runs given up, and he punched out 3. Strikeout stuff. Southpaw on the mound for Matsu. It'll be the 9-1-2 hitters for the Bucs, starting off with Kai McGarry, the center fielder today. So far, Kai McGarry is 0-for-1 on the ground out. Now, when the Bucs offense isn't going as well, you get less at-bats, and usually we're used to seeing at least 2 at-bats when we get to the 5th inning, but now McGarry just 0-for-1. Ground out to shortstop back in the 3rd inning. Miss Kelly comes set, left on right matchup. Here's the pitch, off speed, just missed inside. So 0-1 or 1-0 on Kai McGarry. That was a close one. Could have gone either way. Kelly stands tall. Now kicks and deals. The 1-0 pitch is hit on the ground sharply towards short. Parentoni gathers, throws in time. A nice play from Greg Parentoni. He continues his stout defense, and there's one gone here in the bottom of the fifth. The top of the lineup now comes up for Anchorage. Still 2-0, Miners on top. Offense has just been a struggle for the Bucs. Ever since last Monday, they went up 8-1 over the Miners, then gave up that lead. Pitch, off-speed, misses outside. 1-0 now on Grant Haas. Leadoff man. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. Miss Kelly twirls and comes home. Bounced up there. Fastball that just hit the dirt. So it's 2-0 now on Haas. Decent crowd on hand here at Mulcahy Stadium. Fans file in. A gorgeous day here in Anchorage. The 2-0 pitch is blooped up the middle, base hit for Grant Haas. Off the end of the bat towards Lincoln Stevenson in center field, who gathers and throws back to the infield. But it's Grant Haas's second single of the day, and the Bucs have a runner aboard with 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth. Nice stuff for Grant Haas. He's been real strong as the leadoff hitter. Yesterday worked 2 walks. Now he's 2 for 3 with a pair of singles. So James Provencio now is the hitter. It'll be a left-on-left matchup. So far, Provencio is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. Runner on first, Haas takes his lead. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball called a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 now on the third baseman, who's looked real smooth at third base so far. And a couple nice plays, and even when he doesn't make the play, he looks nifty. 0-1, breaking ball swirls outside. So it's 1-1 now on Provencio.
It's crazy how much Haas, just moving up in the lineup, looks so much more comfortable at the plate and has been looking much better at bats. Obviously the walks and the hits, but just that change in mindset.
Here's the 1-1 pitch in there for a fastball strike. Provencio 2 for his last 13.
It's kind of been the opposite for him,
Yeah.
moving down into the 2 spot.
Normally a hit machine is Provencio, but has struggled as of late. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Cold, a strike 3 on the outside corner. A nice breaking ball that just called at the paint. So there's 2 gone here in the bottom of the fifth. Oh, 2 outs, runner on first. Grant Haas still over there. A steal threat, but you wonder how much he's going to attempt that with Luke Taylor up. A dangerous hitter for the Bucs. 0 for 2, though, with a strikeout and a flyout. Coming off his first multi-hit game in 2 weeks. Here's the pitch. He check swings, and he fully went around. A sword hack, and it's 0-1. Miss Kelly, one of the high-leverage relievers out of the Miners' pen. They have a couple guys out there that are just dominant. Bucs have seen almost all of them so far this season. 6th meeting between the Bucs and the Miners. The Matsu has the lead 3-2. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball called a strike at the letters. So 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. Bottom 5. Luke Taylor up with a runner on first base. It's Grant Haas. Taylor the tying run. 2-0, Miners on top. Miss Kelly, long pause. Here's the kick and the deal. Swing and a miss. Got him on the high fastball. And a brilliant appearance out of the bullpen for Colin Miss Kelly. And the Bucs strain Grant Haas over at first base. We'll head to the top of the 6th. Then we'll hand things over to Alex. It's Bucs Baseball. We'll be right back.
Back here at Mulcahy Stadium, it's a 2-0 Miners lead as we move to inning number 6 alongside Milo Hoffman. My name's Alex Burstein. Miners trying to add some more insurance. First pitch from Sean Toger's a fastball right into the zone. Ridge Erickson, the designated hitter, watches it fly by. It's an 0-1 count on the 4-hitter. Erickson, been a very, very important part of this offense this season. Here's the 0-1 pitch, grounded right side, past the second baseman Underhill and into right field. That's a base hit for Ridge Erickson, and it just takes 2 pitches for the DH to get on board here in inning number 6. Well, that's what Erickson has done well all season long, especially as of late. League leader in batting average, and now we're going to see Izzy Fuentes make his slow walk over to the mound to talk things over with Sean Toger. Toger, in his first relief appearance of the year, looked really good in the 5th, gave up 1 walk, but was able to get out of the inning unscathed. Now Fuentes, wearing his gray quarter zip, will walk out to the mound, and it looks like we have a pitching change. So, without Joe Silva into the game, it's someone else making the calls tonight, and this will be a call to a pen. So, we'll take a quick step aside. Day's over for Sean Toger. We'll be back in just a second. Back here at Mulcahy Stadium, 2-0 Miners lead midway through the top half of inning number 6. Another call to the pen as Nate Muncy comes in to relieve Sean Toger, trying to get this lefty-lefty matchup against Carter Eberhard. Muncy fires the first pitch. It's a fastball that clips the inner part of the zone for a strike, 1-0 the count. Third appearance of the year out of the bullpen for the southpaw Nate Muncy out of Kent State. Has gone 2 innings and a very solid 4.5 ERA. Next pitch, showing bunt. It goes down the third base line. Muncy fields it, throws to first, and not in time. An excellently placed bunt by the 5-hitter Carter Eberhard, and just like that, there's 2 on with no outs here in inning number 6.
I applaud Nate Muncy for hopping off the mound like that and turning and throwing to first. It was a nice throw, but really he did all he could, just not in time on the throw.
So, Erickson over at second base, Eberhard at first, and some real damage could be done here by the Miners as Aiden Espinosa of UCLA comes to the plate. First pitch to the lefty, he shows bunt, pulls it away, pitch goes low, 1-0 the count. Espinosa got here late and had a pretty good excuse, was playing in the College World Series with the Bruins. I think coaching staff here with the Miners will accept that as a tardy. 1 ball, no strikes, leads off of first and second. Next pitch hits the outside part of the plate for a strike. 1-1 the count.
Ridge Erickson started the inning off with a single. Eberhard singled on a bunt. That's how we've gotten here. 2 men on with no outs. Next pitch from Muncy. Another bunt. This time it goes low. Bounces off of Sherman's equipment, but he gets a little assist from Espinosa. Hit his feet to keep the ball right near home. James McGee waits on deck. Lincoln Stevenson in the hole. Muncy steps in front of his face with his glove, looks towards second a couple times, and now fires, showing bunt. Espinosa pulls back again, and now it's a 3-1 count. So Espinosa very keen on bunting here, but Muncy hasn't given him anything to work with. 2-0. The Bucs trailing the Miners here. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Espinosa lays down a bunt. It's in the air. Sherman dives and makes the catch in foul territory. Excellent play from the catcher out of Gonzaga, and there's one away. No one moves up here in the 6th.
Just a really nice heads-up play for Sherman to have his eyes on the ball, dive towards, the backstop, and just a real nice, smooth play and a big out.
Well, the fans will be very happy to see that, and it makes sure that, now the double play could do something really big. As James McGee, the catcher, comes to the plate. Lefty-righty matchup, first pitch, taken high and outside. Oh, they move Muncy into the game, so they have that lefty pitcher. Now, they have to face off against a righty. Started off with Eberhard and Espinosa, 2 guys from the lefty's batter's box. Now it's McGee's turn. Muncy checks towards second base and fires the 1 out. Foul back our way.
Now, right under it. It was a good hack all around. So, of course, Muncy trying to work a clean inning here. And James McGee is a hitter that has really struggled at the plate. You don't want to give anything up to him.
McGee points his bat towards center field. Now ready. It's the 1-1 pitch. Grounded towards short. And Haas can't field it. It gets under his glove into left field. And an error on the catch on the shortstop means the bases are juiced with just 1 away here on the 6th. It was a weird bouncing ball. Haas thought he was going to field it on low hop. Instead, it was on the turf here. Scoots past him. And the bases are loaded here in inning number 6. Gives way to Lincoln Stevenson. A big chance for the center fielder. Lefty-righty matchup. First pitch from Muncy's. Fastball taken low. 1-0 the counts. Well, it looked like Muncy was turning a corner after inducing that pop-out bunt from Aiden Espinosa, but now some real damage with the possibility to be done. Runners at every base. 1-0 pitch. Hit high in the air towards center field. Kai McGarry makes the grab shallow, tagging up from third base, and Erickson will come home to score on a pitch off the glove of Sherman. All the runners will advance on the air, and just like that, it's a 3-0 lead for the Miners here in the top half of inning number 6.
Yeah, McGarry just got under that ball and fired it home, but just off the mark. It was down the third baseline. Almost had an attempt to tag with Sherman, but then that also cost the Bucs 90 more feet. Miners runners took off.
Well, that's something you definitely will want back if you're the Bucs. Now, a little bit of insurance for this team. The RBI goes to Lincoln Stevenson on the sac fly. Greg Parentoni, the 9-hitter, up to bat. Now 2 away in the 6th. First pitch, fastball taken for a strike. 0-1 the count on the right-hander out of Pomona Pitzer. He's been very impressive over at shortstop all season, especially today. Grips his bright blue batting gloves. Here's the 0-1. Bounce towards third. Gloved by the third baseman Provencio, and he goes across the diamond in time. Well, a 5-3 putout brings the top half of inning number 6 to a close, but 1 run comes across the bases. 1 run off of 3 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on the bases here in inning number 6. It's a 3-0 Miners lead. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs Baseball. Back here at Mulcahy Stadium, it's a 3-0 Miners lead. The Bucs need to get the bats going somehow, and they'll try to do it with the heart of their lineup. 4, 5, and 6 hitters, beginning with the lefty Landon Underhill. First pitch from Colin Miskelly's a fastball that just misses a hair outside. 1 ball and no strikes on the second baseman out of Dallas Baptist University. Underhill in a bit of a cold stretch, 2 of his last 18 at-bats. Here's the 1-0. That goes low. He's a player that's been the heart of the offense pretty much all regular season for the Bucs. Got to the team about a week late because his team was making a run in the NCAA regionals, but was thrown right into the fire and looked good to start. Here's the 1-0, bounces in the dirt. And just like that, apologies, it's the 3-0 count. So, Underhill, he'd gladly take a walk. It really just seems like the Bucs need to get some offense going. They've only had more than 1 runner reach in a single inning. That was back in the 4th and stranded the bases loaded. 3-0 pitch. Fastball taken low. Even Underhill didn't realize it. He will slowly take off his gear and make the trot down to first base. There's a runner aboard with no outs here in the bottom of inning number 6.
That's a big walk for Landon Underhill because, listen, the Bucs have had a hard time getting anyone on base so far today. And they have 5 hits, and the walks have been at a premium, but a nice start to the inning for Underhill.
They'll take any way to get on the base paths. Ren Matsuzaki comes into the lefties batter's box. Back-to-back lefties here to face off against Miskelly. We'll see how he deals with it. First pitch. Hits the outside part of the zone for a strike. 0-1 the count. Underhill definitely a steal threat. Has a few of those on the season. He's taking a hefty lead away from Eberhard over there. 90 feet from home plate. 0-1 pitch. Fouled back. Matsuzaki, 1 for 2 today, singled in the 4th. He was that runner at third base. The Bucs have had a runner at third twice today. No runs to show for it. That's been the problem for them all week long. I mentioned last night stranded 10 runners against the Chinooks and a loss 2-1. 0-2 pitch to Matsuzaki. He's taken low and outside.
It's a good take for Matsuzaki. You're down 0-2 in the count. You lay off a nice breaking ball. Miskelly has gone to his breaking ball a whole bunch so far today, so I would expect him to go right back to it here or maybe later down the line in this at-bat.
Matsuzaki chokes up high on his bat, gets ready for the 1-2 offer, and here it comes, taken outside. So, Miskelly with an up and down pitching performance this at-bat to Matsuzaki. He looked great in the 5th, only faced 1 over the minimum coming in to relieve Connor Mundy, who was excellent. 4 innings of no-run ball. He could have kept on going, it seemed, was dicing up these Bucs batters. Now he's turned it to Miskelly, who's doing the same. 2-2 pitch, runner takes, taken outside, throw down to second, not in time, gets off the bag, and Underhill has a stolen base. Red Matsuzaki thought he had a walk. He will walk back to home plate. It would have been a little different scenario if there was a walk, as that would not be a force at second. He's all smiles as he receives the bat from home plate umpire Jesse Segura. It was a ball, and it will be a full count now on Matsuzaki. So, a big chance for the catcher slash first baseman out of North Park University. Lead over at second by Underhill. Skelly checks over his shoulder, the payoff pitch. Check swing, called, strike 3 on the outside third. Miskelly turned up his heat, and there's one away here with a runner at second in inning number 6.
Yeah, fastball just on the outer part of the plate, frozen. That plays off well with the slider breaking outside from the lefty. So Matsuzaki just had nothing. Maybe he was taken out of the at-pat when he thought he had the walk.
Yeah, I mean, break your concentration a little bit, and he knows about that as a catcher. You want to stay ready for every pitch. Logan Ewell in the batter's box. First pitch to the lefty. Another fastball, another strike to the outside third. So the gauntlet of left-handed hitters for the Bucs in the 4 through 6 spot. Underhill, Matsuzaki, and Ewell. Reese Sherman, a right-hander, waits on deck. Miskelly sets just above his belt. Takes a quick peek over his left shoulder to see what Underhill's doing. And here comes the 0-1. That one's in the dirt. Gotta imagine Underhill playing some brain games out there at second base, because whenever he's on and a pitcher looks, it seems like they're peering just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
They really don't want Underhill to take. Already has a stolen bag. That's how he's over at second after drawing a walk to start off the inning. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away. Logan Yule in the lefty's batter's box. Next pitch, breaking ball, just bounced back. Yule's had some good hacks today, the best of which a triple down the first base line in inning number 2. He was stranded over there at third, though, after a strikeout and then a ground out to first base. Bucs have already stranded 6 runners today. Try not to make it 7 this inning. That's Underhill over at second base. Double look at second base, the 1-2 pitch. Way outside in the other batter's box.
Yeah, Logan Yule has been probably one of the best hitters the Bucs have had today. He walked, he tripled, so nice stuff for Yule. He's in a little bit of a slide coming into this game, but nice to see him start hitting well.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The lefty looks relaxed. Next pitch. Popped up towards left field, chasing back towards the warning track, stopping and watching the ball fly towards out of play is Espinosa. Well, that one the wind just took a long ways. It's blowing out towards left field right now. And for a second, looked like it would be playable, then maybe playable in foul territory, and then goes way out of play.
It kept carrying. You said the wind is coming in. Now it's sort of blowing out to left.
Out, yeah.
So
it's been all over the place.
It's in and out to left. So I guess that's a decent spot to hit it.
Yeah. Might be able to get a little bloop single, some soft contact, which is what it initially looked like it was off of Yule's bat. Instead, we stay at a 2-2 count. Underhill off of second base. Skelly looks in and fires. Hit in the same direction, it'll soar out of play. So, Logan Yule, his expertise is pulling the ball down the right field line, but we've seen him gone oppo a couple of times today. Looks like that may be what he's trying to do this at bat, something the Bucs definitely try to emphasize in their BP every single game. Now trying to make it pay off in game. Bucs trail 3-0, bottom half of inning number 6. 1 away. Runner in scoring position. Skelly. Long look back at Underhill. Here's the 2-2. Loop towards right center field. Dropping and diving to make the grab is the right fielder Geffrey. And wow, a double play. The Underhill had no idea it was caught. He was jogging all the way around to home. No one signified to him that the ball had been caught, and a web gem from Geffrey out there in right field. They double up the Bucs over at second base. Well, quite an end to inning number 6. The Bucs get none. No runs off of no hits, no errors, and after that double play, no one left on the base paths either. Still a 3-0 lead for the Miners. We move to inning number 7. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs baseball.
Back here at Mulcahy Stadium alongside Milo Hoffman, my name's Alex Burstein. Bucks, well, the offense just can't get going. The defense, luckily, has somewhat done its job, only giving up 3 runs, but that means it's a 3-0 Matsu lead heading into inning number 7. Nate Muncy stays in for a second inning of work. First pitch is lined up the middle and off the glove of Grant Haas, the shortstop. Cole Funkhauser thought about going to second, but instead it'll be just a single for the second baseman. Well, he took the first pitch he saw, hit it up the middle. It took a weird bounce in the infield. Haas got his glove on it, but it just redirected. And it's going to be another reach for Funkhauser on this season. His first of the day, though, 1 for 4. Carson Grout at the plate. Lefty-lefty matchup. Nate Muncy still on the mound for the Bucks. Here's the first pitch. Swung on and missed. Breaking ball from the Kent State product. Grout rocking his Iowa Hawkeye yellow cleats. Redshirted this past freshman year over in the Big Ten. Lead off of first base. Here's the 0-1. Way inside. Grout had to duck away from that one. Muncy's been a very solid reliever out of the pen. We've also seen him get some hacks in game as a first baseman and batter for this Buck squad. 1-1 pitch. Reaches outside. He's not exactly sure what he's going to do next year, whether he'll be a pitcher, hitter, fielder, all the above.
He said he is just trying to absorb it all, get as much, out of this summer here in the Alaska Baseball League. You've seen him at first base a couple times.
Yeah, he's been doing it all. 2 balls, 1 strike on Grout. Next pitch. Taken on the bottom outside third. Evens it out at a 2-2 count. Muncy redshirted this past spring, so hasn't played organized games. Same with the hitter, Grout, for about a year. Now it's just getting back into the rhythm of playing every day. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3 on inside fastball. Grout got a little piece of it, but it soared into the glove of Sherman. And there's 1 away with 1 on here in the top half of the 7th.
Yeah, really nice stuff for Nate Muncy. Just high fastball. And he has sort of an interesting release where he hops up before he delivers the ball home. And it's working against the hitters.
Now Carter Geffrey will try to keep things going. Throw a pickoff attempt to first, not in time. Had one of the plays of the year out in right field last half inning. Dived, made the grab. No one was sure if he did, so Landon Underhill kept on running towards home, and he ends up getting doubled off at second base. Runner takes. They're going to get him in a pickle. Matsuzaki throws to second, and applying the tag is Underhill. So that will be out number 2. Well, staying put is Funkhauser. They might have called him safe. Oh, it's a balk. Wow. So Nate Muncy just a little bit off. They said he had already set, and that will be a advance for Cole Funkhauser. Next pitch is a fastball to Carter Geffrey, taken for a strike, and it's an 0-1 count. Well, that's unfortunate. The Bucs have racked up the last couple of games for this Anchorage team. Bucs trying to break out of a 2-game skid. 0-1. Breaking ball takes him low. 3-0. Bucs trail the Miners in some Tuesday night action nearing 8 p.m. local time. Pretty fast-paced game here. That's what this whole recent stretch has been for the Bucs. 1-1 pitch from Muncy. Bounced foul towards the Bucs dugout, and someone made a nice catch. Looks like Luke Taylor. You can tell it's him because you saw those iconic yellow batting gloves make the grab over the railing.
Just a whole lot of yellow everywhere. Bucks are the yellow team, though.
Miners also have some yellow.
That's true.
Grout, Geffrey at the plate. He has yellow cleats on. 1-2 pitch. Fastball just misses outside. Muncy almost rung him up with a strikeout. Instead, he evens up the count at 2-2. There's been a couple borderline calls here today that could have really changed the pace and momentum of this game. Instead, Geffrey will get at least 1 more pitch. A 2-2. Runner takes. It's lined left side. Down for a base hit. Funkhauser turns third. It's going all the way to the wall. 1 runs in to score. Stand-up double for Carter Geffrey. And the Miners lead 4-0 in the top half of the 7th. Well, it wasn't a super well hit ball. It just blooped a little bit past the turf here in left field, rolled all the way towards the warning track, and speeding around was Cole Funkhauser. The Miners in complete control here. Izzy Fuentes is going to walk his way out to the mound. I'm not sure if this will be a pitching change or just a mound visit. We'll see in a second.
Yep,
It's going to be a pitching change. So that brings Nate Muncie's day to the end. 1 run already across the board here in the top of the 7th, and the Miners still threatening. We'll be back in just a second. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs Baseball. Back here at Mulcahy Stadium, it's now a 4-0 lead for the Miners over the Bucs. Top half of inning number 7 here. A beautiful night for baseball. Mid-60s and sunny in Anchorage, Alaska. But the Bucs defense, well, we need some help. Wylan Nelson comes in to relieve Nate Muncie here in the top of the 7th. First pitch to Ridge Erickson. Half swing goes off his bat, and it'll be an 0-1 count. Well, if you're Wylan Nelson, this is not the guy you want to start your day off against. Erickson already today 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. Leads the league in batting average and is on a 8-game hitting streak. No balls, 1 strike on the right-hander out of BYU. Next pitch, breaking ball in there for a strike. 0-2 the count. Well, possibly even more impressive than the 8-game hit streak is the fact that in those 8 games, Erickson has combined for 16 hits. He's not just scraping by trying to get 1 hit to keep it going. He is pummeling the ball every single at bat, it seems like. No balls, 2 strikes on the right-hander. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed, breaking ball, and Erickson will head back to the dugout. Nice start for the high schooler Wylan Nelson, and there's 2 away here in the 7th.
Yeah, really nice start for Nelson. Just establishing the zone with a fastball and then going outside with a breaking ball. Looks smooth. Nelson's so keen on getting behind in counts, or from what we've seen so far today, but when he gets out in front, he's nasty stuff.
He's looked a lot better in his last outing or 2 after struggling to start off the season. His ERA still sits at 15.6. Carter Eberhard at the plate. First pitch taken for a strike on the outside third. Eberhard, the first baseman, singled back in the 2nd, scored the game's first run off an RBI single from Lincoln Stevenson. He singled back in the 6th. A 2 for 3 day already, trying for a 3rd hit and maybe first RBI on the day. First pitch from Nelson taken low, and we'll even out the count at 1 apiece. Nelson sports an 0-2 record. Just 3 strikeouts entering today, already has 1. They'd love to make it 2 here. Lead off a second base by Carter Geffrey at the 1-1 pitch. Grounded up the middle, fielded by the shortstop and thrown away by Haas. A wild throw, 1 run comes in to score, charging into second on the out of play ball.
is Carter Eberhard, and just like that, it's a 5-0 lead. Grant Haas, well, he got to the ball in time and then just unleashed one over the right shoulder of Ren Matsuzaki. And just like that, now the Miners getting into blowout territory here in inning number 7.
I mean, it's a tough play, but Haas just forced that throw 100% and way over Matsuzaki's head. There's no chance he could get it.
So it's up to Aiden Espinosa to keep the inning going. First pitch from Nelson. Fastball taken for a strike on the bottom outside part of the zone. Situation reset. Still 2 outs. Still a runner at second. But a change now. Instead of a 4-0 lead, it's a 5-0 lead for these Miners. This will be a 5th win in a row. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Loop towards center field. Kai McGarry chases in and it drops in front of him. Turning third and coming in to score is Eberhard, and that's an RBI single for Aiden Espinosa in just his 3rd game of the season. A nice soft piece of hitting towards shallow center. Grant Haas, the shortstop, had been backtracking and dived to make a play. There was no chance of him getting there in time. Kai McGarry had just as difficult of a run. Perfectly placed hit, and now it's a 6-0 Miners lead.
Yeah, that was perfectly, you said it perfectly placed hit out in center field, and Grant Haas tried to make the makeup play, but too short.
First pitch taken low for a ball. 1-0 the count on James McGee. Well, McGee started off today playing a lot and had yet to have a multi-hit game. He singled in both of his last times. So, best offensive appearance of the year for McGee. Pickoff attempt to first, not in time. Flew out to right field in the 2nd, then singled in the 4th, singled in the 6th. His teammates haven't been helping him out. He's been stuck at first each time.
Yeah.
He's having this great offensive day, but won't have any runs to show for it. 1 ball, no strikes on the right-handed catcher. Next pitch from Nelson, grounded sharply down the third base line and just goes foul. Provencio's had to dive a ton out there over in the hot corner. Luckily, his jersey won't get stained with the turf infield here, but boy, he might be a little sore in the morning.
Yeah, he's had a couple nice plays. Now he throws his glove down and he adjusts his pants and his left knee, but he's looking pretty solid over there at third.
3 runs already across the home plate in the top of the 7th. It's a 6-0 Miners lead. Pickoff attempt gets past Ren Matsuzaki. Espinosa will charge into second base, take a big turn, and now will resort back to second. Another error for the Bucs. This time it goes against Wyland Nelson. That's 3 on the day for Anchorage. And just like that, it is now a runner in scoring position. Still a 6-0 lead for the Miners.
Yeah, just rough all around, just forcing it into the, it's just all forced. There's no reason that this should be happening, but Bucs are kicking themselves.
Well, after no errors for the first 5 innings, 1 last inning by the center fielder Kai McGarry and 2 this inning. Next pitch, fastball taken for a strike to James McGee, and it's a 1-1 count. Nelson now, you just have to shake that one off. Try to return to the game. It's hard to do, though, as a pitcher after you throw a ball away. Luckily, no runs scored on the throw. 1 ball, 2 strikes on McGee. Nelson sets at the belt. The pitch fouled back our way. A lot of balls hit towards the press box today. We're about 50 feet or so above the turf level. Nice night for baseball. Shallow crowd on hand. 6-0 Miners lead in the top of the 7th. Long wait here from Nelson. McGee now gets ready. Here comes the pitch. Fastball chased on the outside part of the plate. And a miss means that's a 2nd strikeout for Wyland Nelson. But the damage is done across 2 pitchers in inning number 7 for the Miners. They plate 3 off of 3 hits, 2 errors, and 1 runner left on the base paths. It's now a 6-0 Miners lead. Stretch time here at Mulcahy Stadium. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs baseball.
Back here at Mulcahy Stadium, now a 6-0 lead for the Miners over the Bucs. They have some major offensive work to do in the last half of the 7th. It'll be Jack Ensel they have to do it against, the right-hander out of Florida. And the Bucs, well, not super happy to see him. They faced off against him just a couple of days ago, and Ensel looked great. 3 1/3 innings, didn't give up a hit, a walk, or a run. So did just about as perfect as possible. Reese Sherman starts things off. First pitch to the catcher is a fastball that hits the outside part of the zone for a strike. 0-1 the counts.
Oh, the Bucs are down 6-0, so gonna have to take a heroic comeback.
0-1 pitch, waved at and missed. 0-2 the counts. Ensel out of Barry University pitched 27 innings as a sophomore this spring, a 2-2 record. And he is just like excellent for the Miners here. He's been a high leverage reliever. Here's the 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. Just takes 3 pitches to retire Reese Sherman, and there's one away in the bottom of the 7th.
Just a good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
Quick day. So, Austin Gamel comes to the plate. Left fielder out of Cal Baptist University. Still searching for his first hit since the middle of June. He's 0 for 2 today. He's been swinging at a ton of pitches. 4 pitches have come his way today. All of them have been swung at. So, want to see some plate patience. First pitch. Taken for a ball on the outside part of the plate. Mel will walk back into the lefty's batter's box, take a practice swing or two. Now Ensel fires the 1-0 and just clips the outside third.
I'll notice that Jesse Segura's call, the umpire, is like a little late. It's always a tick late, so might fool some of the hitters.
Different timing for every umpire in this league. There's not that many. Here's the 1-1. Taken outside, and you see the same rotating caster crew for most of these games. Tonight it's Ethan McCraney, Kenny Aiken, and Jesse Segura. Segura calling the balls and strikes, but we've seen the other 2 guys also call them this year. 2-1 pitch, fastball taken down the middle. Catcher McGee forgot what the count was. He was ready to throw it around the horn, but instead it will just go to a 2-2. Ensel trying for his second strikeout in as many batters faced to open up his outing. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Austin Gamel. Next pitch. Reaches outside and will go full. Interestingly enough, as perfect as that last outing was for Ensel, he didn't strike out a batter. Already 1 K on the day against Reese Sherman. Now Gamel hoping that history doesn't repeat itself. The payoff pitch popped up left side of the infield. Third baseman Grout takes a few steps back into shallow left field and gloves it for out number 2. So Gamel doesn't strike out, but he sends one towering but shallow. And that's going to be an easy play for any D1 third baseman. Just like that, there's 2 away for Kai McGarry.
I think I would have made that play.
Yeah.
Would you have?
Probably not. I wouldn't trust myself against any hit
was
from
high,
these
though.
guys. It was high. Very, very high. Kai McGarry trying to keep this inning going. Center fielder. First pitch. Breaking ball taken for a strike. McGarry's gotten chased on a couple of those today, so he holds off of it. But this time, Ensel just sends it straight down the middle. 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball down the middle, and McGarry moves down in the count 0-2. 0 for 2 today. Is grounded to short both times. A little bit of a slump for this Bucs team. 2 away, bases empty here in the last of the 7th. 0-2 pitch. That one taken high at the leathers.
Ensel's feeling it. He's working fast, shaking off, getting the sign, and going.
Well, when you have it working, you might as well just keep chugging along, especially now that you're facing off against the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. You want to get out of this inning clean and then worry about the top of the lineup. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Half swing there from McGarry. He fouls it off to the right side. Just a slow-moving swing there from the center fielder. Didn't really feel it, but thought he had to battle it back. McGarry with just 1 RBI over his last 5 games. He's still on the league leaderboard. Here's the 1-2 pitch, taken high. You move him down in the 9 spot, thinking there may be some more guys on the base paths. Well, he's come to the plate 3 times today, and the bases have been empty every single time. So that hasn't worked for him. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Next pitch, lined up the middle, and it one hops into center field. Kai McGarry takes the pitch and just bounces it right past second base. No chance at a play for that one. And there's 1 on with 2 away for the leadoff man, Grant Haas.
Yeah, that was just a high swing on a high fastball. Sort of tomahawks into center field, but good to see Kai McGarry come up with a hit. I see him wringing out his hands over there at first base, so maybe it stung him a bit.
McGarry breaks a 2-game hitless streak after reaching the first 11. First pitch to Haas. He's bounced back. Well, now we'll see if they risk sending McGarry to second base. He leads the league in stolen bases with 10. Elliot Medlock of the Miners is right behind him with 8 on the season. Cole Funkhauser, well, he has 6. He's also on the leaderboard. 0-1, McGarry takes. It's a strike. Throw down to second. Not in time. It was a perfect throw from McGee, but just so hard to beat Kai McGarry. His 11th bag of the year, and there's a runner in scoring position with 2 away.
Really nice jump from Kai McGarry. I was looking over at Kirk Strider to see the sign, and apparently the one I saw was a stolen base one, so moment here to at least bring home 1 run and make it a little bit closer.
Haas has some work to do, down 0-2 in the count. 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th. Bucks trailing 6-0. Ensel sets as chest the pitch, way inside, and gets away from McGee. McGarry will easily take third on the passed ball, and now there's a runner 90 feet from home with 2 outs and a 1-2 count on Grant Haas. Bucks trying for their first run since the 4th inning of yesterday's game. Runs have come at a premium for Anchorage during this 1-5 stretch. Ensel looks in for the sign. Now from the stretch he works. Lined right field, down for a base hit. Kai McGarry trots home on the RBI single from Grant Haas. And the Bucks, alas, are on the board. It's a 6-1 Miners lead in the bottom of the 7th.
Really nice piece of hitting from Grant Haas. And just inside out, his 3rd hit of the day.
Yeah, probably the best offensive game we've seen from Grant Haas all season. He's not a power guy, no extra base hits on the year, but he knows how to just get it out of the infield and down for a hit. It's his 3rd single. He hasn't advanced past that base today. First pitch, fastball taken for a strike to James Provencio, the left-handed hitter out of Texas A&M Texarkana. So, a little bit of adversity here for the Miners. They're still comfortable with a 6-1 lead, and those 3 runs they got looking really important. 0-1 pitch, hit towards left field, down for a hit. All runners advance 1 bag. There's 2 on with 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th. The Bucks offense finally rolling here in inning number 7.
Finally, and this would be a big moment for Luke Taylor to possibly make this a closer game. So far the Bucks looking good in this inning. Maybe see something off of Jack Ensel.
We'll see a mound visit from the pitching coach, Steve Hecker, the 2nd pitching coach this year for the Miners. Well, they made the change last week, and I gotta say, the Miners pitching has been doing pretty well. So he's been doing a really good job. Stands on the mound with his hands at his hips. This is the first adversity that we've seen Ensel face in a little bit. And as you mentioned, Luke Taylor, not the guy you want to see at the plate right now. Taylor on the day is 0 for 3. His batting average has been plummeting, entered today at 278. But now's a really good chance to kind of get your mojo back, get something going if you're the Bucks. You know, maybe he'll sail one over the wall. He already has 3 home runs this year, and that would make this a brand new ball game here at Mulcahy Stadium. The clouds have come and taken over in the sky. It's a cloudy day. First pitch to Taylor is down in the dirt. McGee with a nice try to stop it. 1 ball, no strikes. James Provencio is the man at first base. Grant Haas at second. Back-to-back-to-back 2-out singles from the Bucks here in the last of the 7th. And Ensel fires. Big swing and a miss from Luke Taylor.
And that's what Luke Taylor wasn't doing when he was on. He's chasing the slider outside. So you got to keep your eyes focused on the strike zone right now.
Had a couple of big swings they just cannot make contact on his last at-bat when he struck out to Colin Miskelly.
1 ball, 1 strike. Ensel checks on the runner at second and fires. And a big swing and a miss. Another low pitch. And now Luke Taylor down in the count 1-2. Well, the Bucs have already put 1 across the plate, so you can't say this was an entirely useless 2-out rally. But down 6-1, you need 2 or 3 to make it really feel like some damage has been done to this Miners' momentum. Matsu leading 6-1 in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Ensel's going to step off the mound.
And there's still a chance to do that. 1-2 right now. Taylor is good hitter with 2 strikes. I know he strikes out a lot, but can also put the ball in play, a big gap in the outfield. So could be extra bases if he lines it out there.
Ton of land between left and center field. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Breaking ball from Jack Ensel as Luke Taylor walking back to the dugout disappointed. 2 strikeout inning, but the Bucs do get 1 across the board. 1 run off of 3 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on the base paths here in the last of the 7th. The Miners still in control. They lead 6-1. We head to the 8th. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs baseball. Back here at Mulcahy Stadium, we head to the top of the 8th. The Miners in control 6-1 over the Anchorage Bucs, trying for a 5th straight win. The Bucs are hoping to avoid a 3-game losing streak for the 2nd time in as many weeks. Eli Lipinski comes to the mound for the Bucs, making his 3rd appearance of the year. First pitch from the right-hander's a fastball taken outside by Lincoln Stevenson, the 8-hitter for this Miners squad. Lipinski, 0-0 record, 6 ERA and 3 innings pitched. Here's the 1-0 offering. Change up taken inside. It's been a very busy day for the bullpen. Trace Hartman started things off strong. He had 4 innings as the starter for the Bucs. Now they've rolled through 4 different relievers here. Here's the 2-0. Fastball taken on the outside third. Not exactly what you want to see from the Bucs during such a busy stretch. You don't want to have as many arms used. Luckily for the Bucs, none of them have gone a super exuberant amount of time, so they'll be clean to use in a day or two. 2-1 pitch way inside. Bucs just trying to find some answers. Totally lost control over the last week and a half of the regular season. At risk of dropping 2.5 games out of the first. 3-1 pitch, fouled off sharply towards the right side.
You can see the players on the field are kind of just running through the motions at the moment.
And that's what it's been during this stretch. Bucs got 1 win last Thursday against the Chinooks. That's their only win in the last 6 games. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fouled off to the right side. So, Lincoln Stevenson
Doing battle here. First batter for Eli Lipinski on the day, the 6-foot freshman out of Paradise Valley Community College. Hometown kid out of Anchorage, Alaska. Went to nearby Diamond High School. Another payoff pitch. Fouled off again. Lipinski just keeps things going. 8 pitches in this first at-bat by Lipinski. Not what you want to see. He wants to keep his arm fresh. Top of the 8th. Another payoff pitch. Hey, inside. And that will be a free pass for Lincoln Stevenson. Lipinski has lost his grip on that one, and Stevenson had the back up so far he almost lost his helmet while doing so. So, leadoff walk gives way to Greg Parentoni, the shortstop, here in the 8th.
Yeah, and, you know, sometimes the breaking ball has no break, and it's because you lose the grip, like you said. So that one just arm side almost hit him. So, not exactly where he wanted it.
Greg Parentoni comes to the plate. Had a big double back in the 2nd that brought home a run. Shortstops, bunts on the first pitch. It goes foul. Well, there's been no shortage of bunt attempts here today. Both teams trying them. We saw a nice catch by Reese Sherman on a bunt attempt by Aiden Espinosa back in the 6th. So keeping the infield busy. Won't be falling asleep here. 8:27 p.m. Alaska time here. Pickoff attempt to first, not in time. Ren Matsuzaki did a really good job to keep that one from escaping his glove. We've already seen one errant pickoff attempt today. The Bucs surely don't want another. Anchorage with 26 errors on the season. 0-1 pitch. Fastball taken for a strike at the knees. More than any other team, the Chinooks a couple back of them, but they always seem to come in situations that the Bucs just can't afford to give up a base runner or an advanced bag or anything of that sort. Another pickoff attempt, not in time. Keeping Ren Matsuzaki busy out there.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting, actually? So, head coach Tyler Brunn, unlike the Bucs, he doesn't coach a base. So, the hitter is looking to the dugout for the sign.
0-2 pitch, taken high. Every team does it a little differently. Usually at the collegiate summer league level, you'll definitely see the head coach at one of the bases. Usually it's Joe Silva over at 3rd for the Bucs. Tonight, a change with the suspension. 1 ball, 2 strikes, lead off of first base. Next pitch, Parentoni is grounded up the middle, and that's through. Runners advance, and there's 2 on with no outs here in the top of the 8th. Back-to-back reaches. First, a walk by Lincoln Stevenson, and then Greg Parentoni takes a middle-of-the-zone strike and just sends it right back the way of Lipinski into center field on the ground.
Reese Sherman's going to go up to the mound and check on his pitcher, Eli Lipinski. Go over a few things. Now, the Bucs got 1 in the last frame. You're still down 5 runs, so you absolutely cannot allow another run to come home to score, because that just makes it almost impossible to come back, especially when the offense has been this cold.
Yeah, especially at the pace that this Bucs offense has been going. Hasn't been since June 26, 5 days ago, that the Bucs scored more than 2 runs in an inning. That was over the big win over the Chinooks. First pitch taken high for a ball to the one-hitter, Cole Funkhauser. Singled back in the 7th, came all the way around the score. A big insurance run for this Miners team. He shows bunt again, takes it away. This time it's going for a strike. Funkhauser, not the tallest player, stands at just 5'10", so when he shows bunt, it's all the way up at his helmet.
Yeah.
Tries to drop it a little bit, or he pulls it away. This time looks like he'll be swings away. Infield, playing in on the corners. 1-1 pitch, bunted right back to Lipinski. He'll throw to first, but it does advance both the runners. So, 2 in scoring position with 1 away. Cole Funkhauser does his job perfectly. And as you mentioned, there needs to be some big run support from the Bucs, and it's going to be even harder to do if they give up more runs. Pinch hitter for the Miners here as they're trying to get some more guys into the game. Evan Bilter comes to the plate, the right-hander. Now the Colorado Schools of Mine. Rests his beige bat on his right shoulder. First pitch from Lipinski. Fastball taken for a strike.
Well, Bilter was finally getting a rest day today after being very, very hot at the plate. Currently on a 5-game hitting streak, has 8 of his last 21. Now he comes in as a pinch hitter, a tall right-hander. Next pitch, poked in the air towards right field. Logan Yule gets under it. Tagging from third base is Lincoln Stevenson, and he's home to score easily. So, a sacrifice fly from the pinch hitter, and just like that, there is 2 away, but a 7-1 lead for the Miners.
Yeah, and it's just a tack-on run that's big for the Miners. And when you're up by 6, a score of 6-1, 7-1 is such a big difference.
So Carter Geffrey can keep the inning going. Runner at third base in Greg Parentoni. First pitch fastball taken for a strike. So just what you want to see out of a sac fly. Hit high in the air and deep to right field. Logan Ewell, he's a pretty good thrower, but won't get anything out on that one. 0-1 pitch misses outside. Miners in control by 6 now. 7 runs off of 11 hits. They've been perfect in the field. Bucs with just 1 run off of 8 hits and 3 errors. Bucs have been getting hits. They just can't score runs off of them during this streak. 1-1 pitch taken inside.
Just feels like the hits don't come at the right times.
Yep.
And of course a hit always comes at the right time. A hit's a hit, but they're lacking the hits with the bases loaded or the runners in scoring position.
2 balls, 1 strike. Next pitch to Geffrey's fastball down the middle. Go back to that last inning. Luke Taylor comes to the plate. 1 run already across the board. Runners at first and second base, and Taylor strikes out for the 3rd time today. And that's not to single out one player because it's been happening across the board for Anchorage here, but you need someone to step up. 2-2 pitch. That one taken low and outside, and we've run full here on Geffrey. He's had multiple hits and now 4 of 5 games. A pair of singles today. Very, very hot hitting for the right-hander out of Iowa. Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed on a fastball from Eli Lipinski. Gets him out of the inning, but not before 1 run comes across the plate off of 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner stranded on the base path. It's a 7-1 lead for the Miners. Bucs head back to home plate to bat. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs baseball. Back here at Mulcahy Stadium, a 7-1 lead for the Matsu Miners over the Anchorage Bucs as we go to the last of the 8th inning. It's another pitching change. Jack Ensel gives way to Garrett Bauman, the hard-throwing righty. Recent commit to Angelo State. Started off the last couple of years at Sam Houston State. And boy, oh boy, has he been effective this year. 6 appearances, 1-0 record with 1 save, 9 innings pitched. Most impressive number, that ERA has dipped to .96.
after another scoreless outing against the Bucs on Friday.
I mean, he's probably the best reliever in the league right now. And that's saying a lot because there's a lot of good relievers in the ABL this season. So Garrett Bauman has been about as locked down as they come.
We'll see. He might be going for a 2-inning relief appearance. First pitch popped up left side by Landon Underhill. Grout chases it towards the fence, and it just bounces over. Almost one pitch, one out for Bauman, but instead Underhill will stay in the box with an 0-1 count.
Yeah, and Underhill, after he swung, stood straight in silence, praying that wasn't caught, because you do not want to go one pitch, one out.
Bucs have done a lot of that as of recent. It's been quick offensive innings. Anchorage with just one run today, coming in the 7th inning. Next pitch misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Underhill. Flew out in the 1st inning, grounded out in the 4th, and then walked in the 6th. Here's the 1-1 outside. Bauman's last appearance came against this Bucs team. He's been just a personal reliever against this Anchorage squad. Went 1 inning and gave up no runs. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Underhill laces it right into the glove of the first baseman, Eberhard. An excellent play by Eberhard, and just like that, there's 1 away in the bottom of the 8th.
That was ripped. Underhill is still showing his ability to hit the ball on the screws now. He had a couple of fouls that were ripped, and that one, I mean, scorched, but like you said, right into the glove.
So, Ren Matsuzaki comes to the plate. First pitch to the catcher misses outside. Yeah, it's just such a tough break. You get a hole of one, you're like, oh, this might go all the way to the warning track. It's got that power. And then you look up, and it's right in the glove of the guy down the line. 1-0 pitch. Matsuzaki pops it high in the air towards left field. Ranging over is Espinosa, and he makes the grab easily. So, 2 outs quickly here in the 2nd inning. Bucs gained some good contact. The problem is it's headed straight towards the direction of these Miners defenders.
Yeah. I don't know, that just a little bit under there was Matsuzaki, but still hit the barrel a tick late.
First pitch to Logan Ewell, just misses outside. This is exactly what Bauman wants. If he wants to pitch 2 innings, you want to have as few pitches as possible. He's only at 6 on the inning. 1 ball, no strike. Next pitch to Ewell. Fastball just misses the zone outside. Logan Ewell tripled back in the 2nd, walked in the 4th, and then hit into a double play. He steps out of the batter's box to adjust his blue batting gloves, and now we're ready for the 2-0. Here it comes, and that's high. Well, we've seen Bauman face off against 2 lefties and work good results so far in Underhill and Matsuzaki. Trying to keep that going against Ewell. Late kick in the 3-0. Fastball taken for a strike on the lower outside corner. Move it to a 3-1. Defense played straight away here. Bottom of the 8th inning, Bucs trailing 7-1. 3-1 pitch. Hit towards right field, and making the grab on the line drive is Geffrey. Second time Ewell's hit his direction so far today. Well, that will bring a quick bottom of the 8th to a close. Bucs go 1-2-3 and trail 7-1. To the 9th we head at Mulcahy Stadium. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs Baseball. Let's go to the ninth here at Mulcahy Stadium. Bucs trailing 7-1 to the Miners at risk of dropping 3 in a row. It will now be 6 of their last 7 unless some magic can be worked here in the final inning of the day at Mulcahy Stadium. First, Eli Lipinski will try to shut down the middle of the order for the Miners in the top half of inning number 9. Ridge Erickson comes to the plate, the designated hitter tonight. On an 8-game hit streak, first pitch from Lipinski is fouled sharply back. 0-1 the count. Erickson's had a nice day, singled back in the 6th, walked in the 2nd. He's 1 for 3. He'll comfortably take that. Will somehow bring down his average. He was hitting .413 entering today. Just a ridiculous number for a qualified hitter. Rests his bat. Here's the 0-1. Watch it break just outside.
You said the hits haven't been the issue. It's really fascinating. 11-8. That's just the hit battle right there. So not too much behind the Miners or the Bucs in that column.
And it's been similar in a bunch of games this year. 1 ball, 1 strike. Next pitch. Taken just inside, 2-1 the count. Yesterday, Bucs were out hit just 5-4 and lost. On Friday, Bucs out hit 8-6 and lost. Day before they won, you go back, out hit 9-6 by the Pilots, they lost. So they're in these pitching battles, they're in the hitting battles, just coming up a little short. 2-1 pitch, just misses low and outside, and Erickson has worked his way to a 3-1 count. He's aiming for his 2nd walk of the day. Carter Eberhard awaits on deck. I don't know what more insurance the Miners need, but they'll take a run or two here in the 9th. 3-1 offering. Hits the outside third. Erickson had started his step towards first base, but instead will have to retreat back to the righty's batter's box. We've run full on the first man to the plate here in the 9th. The BYU catcher trying to get something going for the Miners. Keep the offense going. They've scored in 3 straight innings. Payoff pitch. Just misses high and away. Good take there from Ridge Erickson. He's aboard with a walk. And there's 1 on with no outs here in the top of the 9th.
Of course, not what you want for Eli Lipinski, but now you open up the double play possibility just to try to get out of this one as fast as possible.
Yeah, I don't think you'll see Ridge Erickson stealing up by 6 in the 9th inning.
Never know.
You never know.
It's not like a complete blowout or it's embarrassing.
Carter Eberhard at the plate. Taken for a strike on the outside corner. Well, I guess in this league, since there is a run rule, there really is no true blowout.
And also, we've seen numerous 6-run innings, 7-run innings.
That's true. The Miners have been the best at it. No balls, 1 strike on the lefty. Next pitch, taken in the dirt. Yeah, as I say that, Erickson's dancing over there at first. Him and Ren Matsuzaki doing battle. Might be exchanging some words. A pair of guys usually at catcher playing different positions tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Next pitch. Poke towards left field, drifting, and will drop just a hair foul. Austin Gamel gave it a nice run out there, and the wind gave it a little extra push past the foul line. So it'll be a long walk back from Carter Eberhard. The lefty will take all the time in the world to return to the batter's box. 1-2 the count on the California Baptist University product. Reached on air in the 7th, came around the score. That was the big inning. It was 3-0, and then all of a sudden 6-0. 1-2 pitch, gets away from Sherman. He fires down the second base. It won't matter. Advancing is Ridge Erickson on the wild pitch. And just like that, there's a runner in scoring position. So they don't need the stolen bag, but they do get the wild pitch.
That was a bullet from Sherman.
Yeah. He was able to track the ball well. It started to angle down the first base line, and he was able to throw it on the run. Made it a little bit closer than he would have expected. 2-2 pitch from Lipinski's taken low. And will go full to the 2nd straight batter. Lipinski's had some long at-bats here. 2nd inning of relief for the right-hander out of Paradise Valley Community College. Just wrapped up a solid freshman campaign out there in Arizona. Now playing at home for the summer. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Lead off a second base by Erickson. Here's the pitch. Bounce down the first base line. Matsuzaki gloves it, flips to Lipinski at the bag, and that will be out number 1. Erickson does take third on the play, so there's a runner 90 feet from scoring, but always important to get that first out and a nice play by the first baseman to know to throw.
Yeah, you know, it was a good play by Lipinski to come off the mound quickly and find the bag, but also a successful out on the minor side of things.
They wanted to advance the runner, and they do it. Now it's Aiden Espinosa's turn to the plate. Already has an RBI today. Maybe we'll add another one. First pitch, way low and inside. Espinosa singled and scored a run in the 7th inning. He's 1 for 4 today. Pair of runs to go with it. Excuse me, 1 run to go with it. Pinsky long set, the 1-0. Taken low. Well, Bucs will return to action tomorrow night here at Mulcahy Stadium. They are the road team against the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. That's a 6 p.m. first pitch. The Miners, they travel to they host the Chinooks at 6 p.m. over in Palmer. 1-0 pitch, fouled back. Good battle here from the middle of the lineup. Just what you would expect out of Erickson, Eberhard, and Espinosa. A single, a ground out to advance the runner. Now we'll see what Espinosa does. This Miners lineup just so dangerous at the end of June, heading into July. 2-1 pitch. Goes outside. Espinosa would gladly take a walk here. It's like our other game tonight in the ABL has gone final. A 3-2 lead for the Chinooks over the Pilots. That'll make the standings a little interesting. We'll get to that in just a second. 3-1 pitch. Bounced foul to the right side, and we've run full on the 3rd straight batter.
Yep, and that's what the Miners do. They work the counts as far as they can go with the best of them.
We've been able to tell a couple times today, the Bucs pitcher is just frustrated. Never what you want to see out of a pitcher, but it's just hard when you're in this losing situation and you just can't seem to get out of an at-bat. Well, Lipinski has a 3rd payoff pitch this inning. Here it comes. Line towards left field, drifting foul, and just escapes past the foul line. So, 3-2 once again on Espinosa. So, with that Chugiak win, they've now won back-to-back games. Impressive stuff out of Chugiak.
They are up and down.
Yeah, first time this season they've won multiple in a row. They lost 3, then won 2. Payoff pitch taken outside, and that's a full count walk to Aiden Espinosa. Runners at the corners.
Well, they had a 2-game winning streak last week.
Okay,
right?
so second 2-game win streak. Now, they will stay at 5.5 games back if the Miners do hold on to this one. The Bucs drop back to 2.5 games. The Pilots drop back to 4 games. So the Miners are just creating room on the field right now because 2 teams directly behind them are in position to lose tonight. James McGee comes to the plate. Pickoff attempt to first, not in time. You know, it seems like it's too early to be standing scoreboard watching, but it's already July.
Yeah. Yep.
Time is flying here in Alaska. Next pitch, McGee fouls it back. I mean, the good thing if you're a Bucs fan, while the Bucs are definitely in a cold stretch, the Pilots and Chinooks have just not been consistent. They're both under 500. 2 games for the Pilots and 5 games for the Chinooks. Bucs will still be a game over 500 after tonight, most likely. So, it's definitely a silver lining. Another pickoff attempt, not in time. James McGee just waiting for a second pitch from Eli Lipinski. He's been waiting all day. 2 for 4 night for the catcher out of Kennesaw State. Pair of singles. Now a chance to maybe do some RBI damage. Runners at the corners, 1 away. Lipinski fires and taken way high at the letters. Rich Erickson over at third base. Aiden Espinosa at first. Bucs trailing 7-1, top half of the 9th. They'll have a couple more swings at it in the bottom half of this inning. 1-1 pitch. Fouled high out of play to the right side. It's a cotton frenzy here in Anchorage.
It's like coming right at us.
It's been all day, but right now you've seen a boost.
It's been all week.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening. Ever since the the Bucs start to struggle, the cotton has appeared.
I know.
I don't know if there's a...
Maybe there's a correlation.
I don't know, maybe.
Pinsky looks in for the sign, now fires the 1-2, check swing, a appeal, and say he didn't go.
So, nice hold off there from James McGee. He stays alive. 2-2 the count. Still one away. You can see some of the cotton has even landed on the field. Looks much dirtier than usual behind home plate at the AT&T logo. Stained about 3 feet behind the edge of the fake dirt.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Runners at the corners. Lipinski looks in and fires. Poke towards the right side, and that will drift out of play.
Yeah, Lipinski thought he had a strikeout on that last pitch. He thought that there was a check swing from James McGee, but he just did not go around.
We've seen this a couple times. Pitchers think they have strikeouts, and then they just can't get their full mojo back the rest of the at-bat. Pinsky trying to dial up his first strikeout of the night.
2-2 pitch, taken inside. We've run full. That is now 4 batters this inning, and 4 times it's run to a 3-2 count.
Yeah, Lipinski's having trouble finding that off-speed pitch. He's just not getting around that breaking ball.
McGee points his bat high at the sky, now gets ready. Another payoff pitch, and misses outside, and that's a walk. So, the bases are juiced. There's no work in the bullpen. This will be Eli Lipinski's damage to deal with as he takes a slow walk in front of the pitcher's mound, and now we'll get ready to face off against the 8-hitter Lincoln Stevenson. It's McGee at first, Espinosa at second, Erickson at third. Miners already in control 7-1, trying to do even more damage. Here's the first pitch. Fastball taken for a strike on the outer third. Well, looked like at the start of the season, no one was going to catch the Bucs offense. They had a big lead in runs through the first 5, 6, 7 games. While the Miners have overpassed them, they've now scored 106 runs in their first 16 games. 0-1 pitch, grounded right side. Underhill gets it, scoops to second. The relay throw in time. 4-6-3 double play gets Eli Lipinski and the Bucs out of the inning with no runs given up. So, a scoreless inning for the Miners. 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on the base paths. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Bucs need 6 to tie it, 7 to walk it off. They'll need some luck and some magic. Who knows what will happen, though? Stick around to find out. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs Baseball. To the bottom of the 9th here at Mulcahy Stadium. Bucs trailing 7-1. They'll need a miracle here to keep things going against the Miners. It's been an excellent day for the Matsu team. They've had just everything going. No errors, 11 hits. Pitching's looked good. First pitch from Garrett Bauman. It's fouled off to the right side by Reese Sherman. Ooh. I think a Miners player either got hit or made a nice grab. I'm not sure.
I think it's the latter, hopefully.
You hear a loud burst and
Right.
you can't see anything. That can mean many things.
I think if someone seriously got hit, we wouldn't still be playing right now.
Probably. Well, it could have been just a bounce off of a
Maybe.
player's hand or something.
Yeah.
Anything will get a baseball crowd excited. 0-1 pitch to Sherman, misses low. Bauman, well, he was excellent in the 8th, just as expected. Got 1, 2, 3 quick outs. Now the righty stays in for another inning. Sherman looks in. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball misses low and outside. So interesting. Bauman, even as Sherman stepped out to take a second, he still had the glove
he's still
held
there.
at his face, looking in for the sign. He's taking
menacing.
He's taking nothing. I know. That's
Yeah.
what you
Look
like
at
to
him.
see out
Does
of your
it-
closer.
Does it right now too. He just gets set.
2-1 pitch. Bounced high towards second base. Funkhauser comes in, fields it on a high bounce, and makes the throw to first in time. Well, a menacing throw and an easy out for the Miners here to start off the 9th. Bauman gets the ball he really doesn't like, chucks it all the way to the Bucs dugout. They won't be using that one. And there's one away for Austin Gamel. Gamel, he's had a tough day at the plate. Grounded out to first, struck out, and then popped. You need something going for you. Next pitch. You need something going for you. Next pitch. Line foul to the left side. Two balls, two strikes on Gamel. Next pitch. Gamel looks at one low and inside. So we've run full. Had a lot of those in this 9th inning. For a game that was pretty quick pace to start off the first 7 or 8 innings, that has drastically slowed down here in the last few innings. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Hit in the air towards shallow left field. Few guys run over to it. It's the left fielder, Espinosa, who sticks out his glove and makes the grab for out number 2. So, Bucs down to the last out of the 9th inning. It'll be up to Kai McGarry, the center fielder, newly into this 9-hitter role. He's mainly been a 1-hitter this season, but either way, he's going to have to keep this game going if the Bucs want to play on to the top of the lineup. First pitch, swung on and missed on a breaking ball. McGarry's had mixed success at that at that pitch here today. He's made some contact with it, but has also whiffed a few times. 0-1 offering goes outside, leaving out the count at 1 apiece. Well, the Miners scored 2 runs in the 2nd inning. Little do we know, that was all they would need, most likely in this one. And then they tacked on some more in the latter few innings. 1-1 pitch. Check swing, doesn't matter. It's down the middle. Bucs down to their last strike of the game. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Kai McGarry. Grant Hosawait's on deck. He's hoping he has one more at bat left in him. McGarry will have to reach. The 1-2. Check swing in the dirt. The appeal, they say he didn't go. Well, the Miners had all begun to walk to the dugout. They'll have to reach back to their positions. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Next pitch. It's high and inside. So
There's a
we'll
clap.
run full.
A clap that start. This is the first time I'm hearing that.
Yeah.
Like a boom, 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 boom.
Bucs want some fan support. Full count. Here it comes. Called strike 3. Fastball down the middle of the zone. And just like that, the Bucs have dropped 3 in a row. This time 7-1, the defeat to the Miners. And the losses just keep on piling up for Anchorage. Now losers of 6 of their last 7 games. Well, the Bucs defense held strong, gave up just 2 runs through the first 5 innings. And then things came crashing down. They fall 7-1. Milo's things just keep looking bleaker and bleaker.
Yeah, you know, the offense has just been lost. That's the only way to put it. The offense has been lost. The pitching has been solid overall, but then the errors came back today to haunt the Bucs. It was going well to start off, but then 3 errors in back-to-back innings in the middle to late innings there. gave up a whole bunch of runs to the Miners. 6th and 7th innings, 1 run, 3 runs, and that's just not going to help your case when you're already struggling to put runs on the board.
Yeah, Bucks have now scored 2 runs in the last 18 innings of baseball. And if you go back to Friday's games, it's 5 runs in the last 27 innings of baseball. So something needs to change quickly for Anchorage. But first, we have some stats to go over. We'll be back in just a second to give you your game totals. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs Baseball. Back here at Mulcahy Stadium, this one's over. Bucks fall 7-1 to the Miners, drop 3 in a row, and now 6 of their last 7 to fall to 8-7 on the season, 2.5 games out of first place here in the Alaska Baseball League. Well, that's a tough one for Anchorage to swallow. Let's see how it all went down. We'll start with the offensive stats for the Bucks, and unfortunately, there was not a lot of them. Grant Haas, your star of the day, he went 3 for 4 with an RBI. He's really using this leadoff spot to his advantage. The problem, the rest of the team didn't do much with it at all. There was no other multi-hit games. The lone run came from Kai McGarry back in inning number 7 of action. So McGarry was able to scrape 1 against the plate, and the RBI came off of Grant Haas's bat. So Haas really the only strong offensive day for the Bucks. Trace Hartman takes the loss in his first start of the season. He drops to 2-1. 4 innings, gave up just 2 runs. Most times that will not get you the loss, but the offense just was not helping him here today. Sean Toger, Nate Muncy, Wyland Nelson, and Eli Lipinski combined for the rest of the outing. All of them gave up a run, and at least 3 of the 4 gave up an earned run. So not a great relief day either for the Bucks. Really nothing was going their way. Cannot be said about the Miners, though. Cole Funkhauser led things off. He went 1 for 4 today. He had a run, multi-hit day for Carter Geffrey, 2 for 5, a run, an RBI, and an absolute web gem out in right field. Carter Everhard, a 2 for 5 day, pair of runs, and James McGee had his best game of the season, 2 for 4, along with a 2 for 4 game from Greg Parentoni. So a ton of offensive contributors, like we said, all season long has happened for the Miners. Connor Mundy went a strong 5 innings pitched for the Miners today. He looked excellent. Colin Miskelly followed things up with an inning of relief, and Jack Ensel and Garrett Bauman were very good as well in relief for this Miners team. Well, that's just about going to wrap things up. Milo, what are your some final thoughts after another disappointing loss from Anchorage?
Yeah, it's the offense that has to come through with runners in scoring position, because again today there are numerous runners left on base out there for the Bucs. So if Anchorage wants to turn this thing around, you got to keep putting people on base, and you got to come up with a big hit to bring home the runs. And also you have to go back to being more disciplined at the plate from specific players that were started off so good. The season looked like it was going to be an absolute cakewalk for the Bucs. Now it's flipped on its heels. You got to go back to being disciplined at the plate for the Bucs. Stop swinging at sliders outside and get yourself in good counts and take advantage with runners in scoring position, because the Bucs have it in them. They have the good offensive talent. The pitching has been solid. You can't blame the pitching in games like today, but overall, you got to just get back to hitting with runners in scoring position, because that's how you score runs.
Gotta turn things around, and gotta turn things around quickly, because the Bucs return to action here at Mulcahy Stadium less than 24 hours from now. Bucs take on the Pilots. The Bucs will be the away team in that one. 6 p.m. first pitch here at Mulcahy Stadium. 5:45, we'll be on the air with our pregame show. You can hear from Joe Silva, a player, and get highlights from this game as long with a ton more. But that's about just going to wrap up our coverage here tonight. Another loss for the Bucs. They dropped to 8-7 on the regular season. We'll try to stay above 500 tomorrow. Your final score from Mulcahy Stadium, it's the Matsu Miners 7, the Anchorage Bucs 1. For Milo Hoffman, my name's Alex Burstein, saying so long and good night.